Looks like
I watch these all the time.
yeah, you might be in one
They're
today.
great, I swear. I love them.
I got chicken here already. I got tamales too. Hurry up. There's no soda. You said you got soda, right? All right. A day? Yeah. Gotta wait for these prison phone calls. I told somebody I know. Nah, all right, while we wait for man, we'll check out some current news. Let's see what we got. I'll let you guys take a peek into the junk I watch on YouTube. We'll take a look at some, some of this Ukraine junk going on with Douglas McGregor.
Nonetheless, we're able to inflict that kind of damage. There were roughly 40,000 dead lying on the battlefield. That was just an incredible level of lethality created by artillery and firearms that by today's standards are really very primitive, but nonetheless, we're able to inflict that kind of damage. We see this lethality increase through the 19th century. By the time you get to Königgrätz in 1866, the great collision between the Prussian and Austrian armies, the casualties are even greater, and you're now talking about breech-loading rifles, breech-loading artillery, steel guns. It's a disaster in human terms. The carnage is beyond belief. As we move towards World War I, we get to the Russo-Japanese War, and the casualties the Japanese take at Port Arthur against the Russians are phenomenal. Thousands upon thousands of people being mowed down by machine guns, artillery, now grenades. You're now into a blast-centric battlefield. It's not just standard artillery, but mines and so forth. So the lethality continues to increase, but the nature and the structure of the organizations fighting really doesn't change very much. And the solution in the minds of most commanders is to actually increase the density of human beings on the battlefield, to somehow or another compensate in a human sense for this dramatic increase in firepower. So the point is, how you choose to look at things really shapes where things are really going to go, as opposed to where they probably ought to go. Had we looked carefully at what happened between 1815 and 1914, we probably would have reached different conclusions. So what I want to do is to try and get people to surf the wave a little bit better. In other words, look at where the true technology and destructiveness of warfare is headed, and appreciate what that means to the United States Army. Many of you will know this man, George Kennan. And George Kennan is probably one of the first people to articulate very effectively the enormous problem in American national military strategy. That problem is largely, but not exclusively, but largely the absence of any coherent framework that links the use of military power to realistic, attainable political goals. In fact, Kennan's observation was, we tend to do things overseas, beyond the borders of the United States, this is after the Second World War in Korea, not so much because we have to, because we need to, but because we are doing things that make us feel better about ourselves. We, after all, are the exceptional nation. We are the pristine example of the pinnacle of Western civilization. We live in a state of perfection. Just ask the Marine Corps. So the point is, Kennan was saying, look, this is not necessarily strategy. Most of what we do is not shaped by the need to do something, but by the capability to act. Recall Madeleine Albright in the early 1990s, who confronted, at the time, General Colin Powell and said, listen, you keep talking about this wonderful army. What are you doing with it? And he was, of course, stymied by this statement, but her point was, American values are universal. Everyone can share our values and benefit from our values. And we need to export these values, and we want to use the United States military establishment to do it. And remember, in the aftermath of Desert Storm, there was this illusion of invulnerability, invincibility, of the United States enjoying a monopoly of power like no power had enjoyed, certainly since the Roman Empire. So the assumption was we now have both the capability and this God-given right, if you will, to use the capability to export America to places that desperately need it. Now, places that desperately need it turn out to be opportunities that present themselves, places where we think we can tinker and get away with it, usually against adversaries who are very, very weak and not very strong. Sometimes we miscalculate. We certainly miscalculated in Vietnam. But the point is, that's not strategy. That is not tied to a national security strategy that drives a military strategy. So in the absence of any coherent strategic framework that defines national interests in tangible, concrete terms, and then ties a force design to those interests, what do the armed forces do? They essentially do whatever the generals and the admirals think is appropriate. And in bureaucratic terms, for the last 50, 60 years, that has largely meant defaulting to a force structure, a force design, and an approach to war with its roots in the Second World War. Now, that's not entirely unreasonable, because stop and consider for a moment that the last major event of a military nature that actually changed anything in the international system fundamentally was the Second World War. None of the interventions that we've involved ourselves in or have involved others since 1945 have fundamentally altered that system. Some would say that World War II ultimately continues until 1989 and then ends with the collapse of the Soviet occupation of Central East Europe. And that's unbelievably accurate, frankly. But the point is, that too is tied to the Second World War. So the profound tectonic shifts in the international system really go back to the Second World War. Nothing has fundamentally changed in profound terms since then. But we have, nonetheless, expended enormous blood and treasure all over the world with the object of changing things. And that was Kennan's observation. He simply said, it's wrong-headed, it's wasteful, and it should stop. But no one seems, at least until this point, to have come up with an answer as to how to stop it. But I think we're getting close. And the answer is, we don't have any more money. We can't continue. We've put ourselves in phenomenal debt. And so, like any great power, like the British Empire, like Rome, like many of our predecessors, we are going to simply walk away from large numbers of places where we have been for a very long time because we can't afford to stay. We're just going to pick up and leave. That doesn't mean we exit the stage. And in the case of the United States, that doesn't change our interests.
There's that lazy black man.
Remember that we are of necessity,
that late black man,
as an American people, first and foremost, a global aerospace power.
Don't even
we are of necessity a global maritime power.
We're on YouTube right now.
We are not a global land power, nor do we need to be. Because like the British Empire that spawned us, we are effectively an island nation. We are protected by the Atlantic. We are protected by the Pacific.
This is actually pretty good right here, man. Now I'm playing this piece by Douglas McGregor. Well, hurry up, though, man. The fans are waiting for you, man. I think we got like one viewer. This is a large, right? Oh, dude, you made this cricket. Damn. No, we're done talking. You did. No, that's what. Like, hurry up. You want me to put on a cricket shirt? Oh, good. Okay, this is the one I'm going to get. That one you're going to take? Yeah. Hurry up, man. All right. This is a large too, right? This is a large. Buying T-shirts from a gas station. Well, we got like 2 viewers, and they're waiting for you. These prison phone calls, these inmates just can't call. Yeah, it don't make no sense. These guys, man. I'd be picking up the phone. I would. Damn, look how small that T-shirt is, everybody. Once you see this, oh, you ain't gonna be able to see it. He said the only T-shirt he could find that was a Cubs T-shirt was one that belonged to a kid. No adults would wear the T-shirts. I don't know, man. If you want to set up that Facebook, I mean, you're going to be here for a while. What kind of food did you get? Oh, you didn't get any food? Oh, I thought she said, where's it? Well, I thought you did say you got some food. I finally get us live on 2 platforms, and and it's going into 20 minutes. It's already about 6:20. Well, this show definitely is raw and live. If you got any questions, call 699 8650 414 699 8650. Oh, I wonder what we got. Hey, who was it? You really don't know? No, you really don't know whose number this is? What did they say? It's who? Why don't you call the number back and ask them who they are? Good thing we're not recording yet. Hold on, you can go this way. Did you set it up already? You should have put that over there. You should have put that tripod right there. Yeah, let's see. 86. If I did this show like you do stuff, man, we'd be people 70, 84, 76. Hold on, I gotta do something. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know. Who is this? Who?
Jason.
Jason who?
Jason from 50 Outreach.
Hey, I'll have to call you back.
Oh, okay.
Nah, man. I'll talk about that later. Later in the show. Are you ready to go? We've been live the whole time, man. Yeah. But don't go do nothing yet. All right, hold on. Let's see.
Hold on, I just got out of the shower. There's some juice on the...
Well,
This is man.
this is Rich, and this is
This is
Manwich.
the
Oh, we got our prison phone call right now.
At the gate.
You may begin speaking now.
What's up?
Oh, what's going on,
How you doing?
Alabama?
How you doing, Alabama?
What is happening?
Well, you tell us what's going on. Let's get your.
You
let's
already
get your-
live?
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
get your mug shot up right now. Our first
Oh,
inmate.
my Lord, man.
Our first inmate of the night is Alabama, aka the White Devil, aka Satan's son, aka the Terror of Mobile, aka the AKA. What's going on, Alabama? Talk to Lord. Forgive me for that last Satan's son. I was just joking around, Lord. All right, go ahead. Talk to us, Alabama. We just finally started the show.
Yeah.
How many inmates are waiting? How many inmates are waiting online, waiting in the line to get online? Tell me. None, right? You guys want to sit around, play, digging their belly buttons?
I
What?
see a couple of them.
Good. Let them know, man. Tell them we're live right now.
Yeah, we got Chappé in D.C.
Good. Let them know we're live right now. The whole world can hear them. Tell their families to tune into the show.
Yep.
Tell their fat chicks they write to tune into the show.
I hear you. So my name is Thomas Allen Burks, and I'm originally from Mobile, Alabama. I came up here in 2000. And then I got wrongfully convicted in here, and now that I'm behind these gates, I'm trying to find somebody to help me out because I don't have the money for a real lawyer. So I'm been trying to get somebody to help me out for the last 9 years. I got back in court. They gave me a sentence. They gave me a hearing for the 7th of this month, March the 7th, but then they canceled it. And it's been 3 weeks now, and they haven't told me why. I don't understand.
So, Alabama,
Yeah.
have you did you plead guilty or you took a plea?
I took an Alfred plea.
Check this out.
I
took a
took
plea?
an Alfred plea.
Now, hold on. Do you know what an Alfred plea is?
It's
Yeah.
it's a
Nope.
hold on.
Because you never heard of it, right?
Plead the fifth. You ain't saying you innocent or you ain't saying you guilty.
You're not admitting guilt. You're maintaining you're innocent, but you're saying that the state has enough evidence that they can find you guilty in a court of law.
Which they really don't.
All right, but here's the point.
They
Here's the
really
point.
have
I'm gonna
no
do my
evidence.
I'm gonna do my intro. I'm gonna do my intro now. You did your intro. I'm gonna do my intro. You ready? Are you ready, Alabama?
Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Richard Harvey, born and raised on the playground. Is where I spent most of my days. Chilling up, back and relaxing, all cool and all, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. Oh, you got my you got the same one as me, huh? You got the same intro. when a couple of guys were up to no good and started causing trouble in my neighborhood. I got one little fight. My mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle to the south side of Milwaukee." Hey, did you watch that when you were gone? Did you watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
I watch all the shows, every one.
Did you watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Every episode.
But here's the thing about it. I watched that way before then. Matter of fact, I watched that before I ever met you. I used to watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I used to watch when I was like 9, 10, I think.
Yeah. That was a good show. That's like Family Matters. Like I thought about doing the intro, the theme for the podcast with Family Matters for like one episode. All right, back to you, Alabama. So who got killed?
Yeah.
Who got shanked today? Who got raped in the showers?
Nobody.
Tell us, man. Tell us.
Nobody.
Oh, man, that's messed up. Go start a riot then. Start a riot.
Yeah. So,
What?
So I'm
Well, hold on. What do you think about the Trump indictment?
I don't care anything about Trump, bro. I'm so sick and tired of hearing this damn
Dude,
thing, man.
are you a Democrat?
they
Are you a Republican? Oh,
Well,
man.
I come from a Republican-ran state. Of
I don't care
Alabama.
if you came from a potato patch. Are you a Republican or a Democrat?
Well, I don't know what to be.
Listen,
Because up here,
if you
in
want
the state of
America to be,
Wisconsin-
listen, if you want
up here in
America,
the state of Wisconsin, they try to keep prisoners down.
nah, they got
Republicans.
Democrats in there. Democrats keeping it right now. You got a Democratic governor.
I really don't even think it matters in the state of Wisconsin, Democrat or damn Republican.
All right, well, here I'm gonna tell you
I
right
think they're
now.
I think they're all
Hey,
scared.
if you want a strong economy, if you want a strong military, and if you want an America that's gonna America, if you want an America where the citizen safety is put first. Like for instance, like what's going on with world events, America could go to war with Russia. America could go to war with China. The U.S. dollar is falling. The yuan, which is the Chinese currency, it's getting ready to replace the dollar. You have countries that are no longer trading with U.S. dollars; they're trading with the yuan. What that's doing to the U.S. dollar is that's weakening the U.S. dollar. So we're living in those, like, okay, because we're all three of us are Christians on this on this podcast right now.
Me, I ain't Christian.
Okay, all three of us believe in Jesus.
There you go.
So having said that, I feel bad, man. Go ahead, talk, man. I feel like you want to talk, man. I know why you did that. Go ahead, talk. Say something about America, then make it great
I'm just
again.
saying though, it gotta go through these loops because it's, the curse lifted, and they got in office right now. They trying to give every African American, you so called, $5 million a piece for reparation.
You think they should do that?
I don't know. I wouldn't really like.
You know what that would do to the country?
I wasn't slave.
You know what's funny about that? That you said that. When we're done talking to Alabama, I'm gonna show you a video.
Hey, but look.
What? No, it's not gonna be one of those videos. It's gonna be a comedy
monitored
video.
and recorded.
It's got Dave Chappelle in it. It's David Chappelle years ago did a spoof on reparations. Yeah. Have you ever watched it?
No, man.
Oh, dude, you're gonna laugh. Dude, you're gonna trip. If you don't laugh, you're gonna trip out.
David Chappelle's funny as hell.
Yeah. That's what they're trying to do, though. They trying to
Catman Williams and David Chappelle.
But this is what they're gonna do, though. When they give them the $5 million, they're gonna crush the dollar. So everybody gonna have all that bills for no reason, and they're gonna be showing all their money for so long, and they're gonna be over. They're gonna be part of just gold.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
gold and currency.
Hold on. I'll tell you what. See, now if you know that, why aren't you buying precious metals? Why aren't you buying silver? Now that's when you're supposed to say, well, why aren't you buying silver?
Yeah.
Say it. No, say it. I want you to say it. I want you to say it to me.
I was for to say it. I'm about to say that, but I was like,
I want you to say it then right now.
No. Well, you buying some. Did you get some?
Hey, Harvey.
I thought about buying 100 ounces of silver for like $2,500. That's all I got in the bank. Yeah. But the Lord provides for his. Another thing, too, you can save up. Hold on, Alabama. You can save all those precious metals you want. Let's say, if you're a wicked man, you can have all that stuff. The Lord will give it, it'll get taken away from that person, and somebody who doesn't have anything will gain it. God's word talks about that. At the same token, we should prepare. We should have something, right? But at the same token, the Lord provides, man. The Lord knows those who trust in Him. What's going on, Alabama? What'd you say now?
Oh, you're talking about Republicans and Democrats. Who's the damn government before this government that put up the damn hearsay law? A damn Republican, Scott Walker.
I don't
He's
know
the one
about
that
that. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them jailhouse lawyers in there.
He's the one that made the hearsay law.
You weren't even.
Yeah, he made it. He made it. Yeah.
He's the reason why they can get away with the bullshit that they
I'll tell
get
you
away
right now.
with.
Hold on. If it weren't for truth and sentencing, you'd have guys still in prison right now. What are you talking about? Matter of fact, the reason why you still got guys.
If we had the parole board,
what would happen?
we'd have a better chance.
No, you
we
wouldn't.
don't have the parole board no more.
No, you wouldn't.
Because of the
No,
Republicans.
you wouldn't. I'll prove it to you right now. No, you wouldn't. I'll tell you right now. No, you wouldn't. That's why you still got guys in the state of Wisconsin who have been in prison for over 20, 30 years, and they haven't been paroled yet because because there isn't truth in sentencing.
They have it then, you mean?
That's because
they
didn't
didn't
have
have
it then.
sentences back then when they got a sentence in the 80s.
That's because the judicial system plays stupid. They know, hey, when you go pro se, it is so difficult to pro se your own self, inmate, as an inmate, be your own lawyer.
Dude.
Because they really don't respect that.
Well,
you can come up with
they don't.
case law,
Hold
and
on.
they would play stupid and
All right.
sit on it.
Well, here's the thing, though. I'm going to tell you, but here, I want to say this, and that is, dude, there's guys right now that would still be in prison if it weren't for truth in sentencing, if I'm saying that right. Because, like, if you don't, like, you wouldn't get paroled unless you did everything that they wanted you to do. You'd have to complete all your programs. There's guys that are like, man, I ain't doing this program.
They don't believe they done it.
Yeah, or they'll be like, nah, that's another thing too. Like, well, what if you're in there for murder, or if they're in there for rape or whatever, and you're like, I went to trial and I was found guilty. I ain't taking this program. And so you're sticking to your guns. At the same token, though, you can get out on truth and sentencing and still try to stick to your guns. And if you don't take whatever, I hate that word program too. That's so re-educational. That's so like 1984, the novel. It's like it's so to tell whatever. It's like it's so, dude. It's so brainwashing, man.
You can keep going forever.
Take your program.
Well, explain my case. You understood that my public defender never objected to nothing, not from the preliminary hearing all the way to the sentencing hearing. He never objected to nothing. He went with every negative thing that the prosecutor. So my damn public defender was nothing but another state prosecutor. That's all the hell he was, man. And if you look at my damn sentencing transcripts, alone, the language in there, he'll start off with something positive, but by the end of the sentence, he'll come up with something negative about me.
Here's the thing, though.
He's supposed to jab holes in the prosecutor's case.
What's going on?
He jabs holes
What's
in my
going on
defense.
with your motion? What's going on with your motion, man?
I don't know, because they won't tell me. They give me a hearing, and then they cancel it on that damn day. And it's been 3 weeks now, and they haven't given me nothing. I filed a motion for my the criminal discovery, my paperwork, my exculpatory
Dude, I'm going to look
evidence.
right now. I'm going to look it up right now. While we're talking, I'm going to look it up right now.
Oh, I don't see Cap?
Yeah, we're going to find out what's going on right now, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then he suppressed something. At one of the hearings, he suppressed, and he got it granted to get the date and the time for the suppression, and he neglected it on purpose. He was never my defender because he paid for the state. He, like I said, these public defenders in Wisconsin are nothing but prosecutors, man. They set you up to get knocked down by the judge and the prosecutor.
Oh,
himself.
you don't. But hold on, you don't have your case number. Like I don't think I'm gonna be able to find anything. I gotta have your case number.
13.
Oh, you remember that? Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me try this again. Then quit acting so shy.
I'm just
shy.
hearing Alabama.
Nah,
I'm feeling
man.
his pain.
I almost called you Alabama. Quit acting so
Do you need
shy.
my DOC number or my case number?
But
Oh no, I'm gonna put your last name in. Burks. Alabama. Thomas.
Yeah. Thomas Allen Burks. EOC number
What's it? Check it out.
45117.
Is that ALAN?
It's ALAN.
Okay, hold on.
And Burks is
What's your date of birth?
BURKS.
What's your date of birth? What's your date of birth?
4973. April 9th, 1973.
You know, I never did this CCAP stuff before until like a couple months ago. To me, this is all like police stuff. This is, man.
They're just looking up the person.
Nah, dude, that's all cut police stuff. Matter of fact, I remember when I had my keeper of a drug house conviction, and I had got that apprenticeship through the state. And I remember these guys were like, "Yeah, we looked up all you guys when they hired you." I'm like, "Man, what the? You guys are employees working here. Man, what's the matter with you?
Hey.
What's going on? What's your case number?"
13 JC 1378.
JC 1378.
Hey,
All
but
right.
you know what? You know that I took all the type of.
Or is it 13 CF?
I took
Damn,
all
I
the.
forgot. Damn.
I went to trial and everything, right?
It could be
I lost-
CF.
I went to trial, lost, right?
Yeah.
So when I was a little ignorant for a minute,
Why were you
like
ignorant?
8 years because I didn't want to take no programs like to get to a minimal, Then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go in the program, you know what I'm saying? CTRT and criminal thinking, rational thinking, Even though I went to trial and even though I know I ain't do it, but I just I want to learn something different, And next thing you know, they grant me minimal, and I went to minimal, man, and
You there?
Yeah, hold on. I'm listening to my guy.
yeah, I went to minimal, and I started, they're working. I'm work releasing everything. Then I made my way inside the house because you're gonna be in.
Dude, all I found was something for child support, Alabama.
Child support? I should never had child support. I've never had child support my whole entire life.
Shawano County.
Shawano?
Rihanna L. Ramos. Yup. Child support. That's all I found for you, man.
All
You're
calls
free,
other
man.
police
You're a free man.
attorney calls
You're not
may
even
be
in prison.
monitored and recorded.
Dang.
Dude, you're not even in prison. This is all in a simulation, man. You've been simulated into a prison. You got to break out of the hive. No, there is. That's all I found, dude. That's all I found, man. I found nothing else, dude. It's like they've erased your information.
So these listeners need to know, man. If I would have had, I had Denise Hirschmcgrath, which is a judge now. Back then, she was my public defender. She threw me to the wolves. Said she had a conflict of interest. I don't know what the hell she had a conflict of interest. She could have slaughtered my case, man. They called her Denise the Beast back then. The only reason why she threw me away is because of her reputation of becoming a judge. She could have easily slaughtered my case, man. That's what pisses me off, man. She knew me for 10 months before this case ever came up, man. She knew me personally. She knew I showed no signs or characters of what they freaking call me.
How did she know you for 10 months? Like, what is she like? You guys used to know each other before you were arrested?
I had a case for the same person on some stupid shit that I only stayed in jail for like two or 3 days.
What was it?
What do you mean, what was it?
That you were in jail for 3 days.
Oh, she was bullying one of my other daughters, and I had to go outside and get her. And it was the middle of winter, and I brought her back in, and she just kept ranting and raving. I told her to be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. I told her that she kept ranting and raving and throwing a fit and everything else. And then I lost her for 1 second, and I slapped her. And then I backed off real quick, and I walked the other way, and I turned around. And when I slapped her, my damn finger accidentally tapped her in the nose, and it made it bleed just a little bit. I didn't even mean to do that. So it didn't even last very long. So I fixed her like that. But when she went to the damn school, she had a blood drop on her freaking book bag. And then the damn teachers made a freaking big ass damn deal about shit. And you know how they just blow shit up, man. I didn't even mean to do that shit. as terrible as it sounds, I just got through. I went into work around 2:45, worked all the way till 2 o'clock in the morning. Came home. I was only asleep for like two hours, and I was at the other end of the house. And as usual, she's always bullying my other daughter. And and like I said, I only had 2 hours sleep after working like almost 10 or 12 hours straight. And I have been dealing with her for a long time.
Dude, what's going on in there, man? We want to know what's going on in there. Who's being abused, man? We want to know.
1 minute remaining.
You got 1 minute.
I wasn't abusing her. I just
No. I'm talking about in prison. I'm talking about in prison, man. I'm talking about like social injustice in prison. Look, that's what I was talking about. Hey, tell those guys, man. Tell them we're gonna be live till 9 o'clock. Tell them they call in. We're gonna get them through, and we'll chop it up from there. Let's pray real quick.
All right.
So, God the Father, in Jesus' name, we come to you in prayer, and we pray for Alabama. We ask, God the Father, that you get Alabama out of prison, that you'd continue to protect them, God the Father, and that you bless them with a court date, God the Father, and not allow this court system to bully them around. In Jesus' name we ask, and we all say amen. All right, Alabama. Tell these guys, anybody you can think of, tell them pick up the phone and call, man. He's doing the podcast right now, man. Tell him, say a live podcast for prisoners right now, man. Take your T-shirt off and sell that, man. Tell them, say, hey, look, whatever you got to do, man, advertise for us. Check out the debt does.
Okay, right. Alabama, you have a good day, man.
Oh, he's gone already, man. That's why you got to speak up. You got to be like, man, chill out, Rich. It's my turn to talk.
You got a lot of energy. That coffee did that.
You know what you got to do?
Coffee and pop. You got to start drinking water.
I'm going to tell you, you know what? When I do the podcast with my brother, it's the same thing, you know. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. My brother would be like, man, that's how you always talk. You don't ever have everybody else can ever say nothing to say. You just always talking. Yeah. And I'm thinking, like, you know what? Okay, if I didn't say something, then nobody would say anything. Yeah, you just be sitting there like, duh.
That's your opinion. People can talk. You just take over the conversation.
Good. I want you to do it then. I want you to take over.
No, I'm just saying, though. You know.
Tell me what.
So what I was saying is, you know, when I was in there, they asked me, you know, they want me to go from, you know, many programs, you know.
Yeah, you should have kept. You know what? You still right now could be appealing your conviction.
Yeah, I know.
And you could sue the state. Yeah, and then you would have $5,025,000, man. You would get $25,000 for those 15 years.
You know. You just, you know, I just ain't want to be. I was listening to the, you know, community how I was raised. You can't be a snitch and everything, so I choose not to say anything and keep my mouth shut. You know, so that's the thing about that.
The thing about that is you're between a rock and a hard place.
No, that was, you know, it's just a pass. You know,
I know, but you were between a rock and a hard. Look, okay, let's say like
I had everything in my hands.
If you had nothing invested in it, it would have been easier. If you had nothing invested in it, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it would have been way easier. You'd have been like, I didn't kill such and such. That was dude. But in this case, you'd have to be like, I didn't kill such and such. No, and then he'd be like, but you told me to kill such and such.
No, it's like this, though. It's like,
nobody was killed, too, in the taping of this podcast.
No. Well, look, the thing is this. I choose to keep my mouth shut because I know the rules of the streets. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about, you know, I had a lot to lose. I had a lot to lose, man. I had everything going on. I was young in my prime, you know, stores and, you know, the clothing and cars and the house decked out. So I had money in the bank.
Oh, you had a house too?
Yeah, it was nice, man.
You bought a house?
Ball house, but you know I was really.
You rented an apartment? You rented an apartment or you bought a house?
Small.
Hello, Moto.
Hello, you have a prepaid call from an inmate at Racine Correctional Institution. Your account balance is 9. All calls other than properly placed attorney calls may be monitored and recorded. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
What on?
What's going on, Conley?
Just chilling, man.
What it do, Kylie?
What's going on?
This is my best friend I told you about when we were in the cell together. This is my guy, man.
Yeah.
What it do, Kylie?
Just chilling, man. So I heard y'all got some good things going on.
Yeah,
you know
man. Staying productive.
So explain it to me. How does it really work?
Well, right now you're live and the whole world can hear you.
Okay.
I'm for real about that. Other than that, we just, you chop it up with people in prison. What we do is we chop it up with people in prison. Go ahead, man. Tell them.
It's like this. We come on here. We speak our mind, speak the truth, what's going on in the media. We have prison calls for the whole world to hear you and see what you have to say or hear what you have to say. What's going on in there, what you've been doing to productive, your character in your time in there. So it's a lot, that we do to get you guys recognition, So
okay.
We appreciate you calling, man, because you live and we just don't have no picture of you.
Yeah, I didn't, I want to say like I was Kimeo, but
right.
Like you call again next week and I'll be able to get because I'll be able to go ahead and get your photo offline. Like usually with the other guys that are in there, we got their photos already. We got their inmate number, their name. But what I will do is I'll forward in the podcast like we do with the other guys there. We leave their name. We leave your guys' mailing address. So if anybody wants to write to you guys to you, they can write to you. So that's one way to contact you.
How long you been in there, Connie?
About 4 years.
How long you got left?
Probably 11.
Okay.
And now another thing too we do, Conley, is that like for instance, like in your situation, see, like okay, my best friend, man, like he went to trial. He was found guilty. All right, he was found guilty of reckless endangerment. They gave him 15 years in prison. Having said that, like your situation, like you could get, you could, because I know you're still in the court system, but you went to trial also. So if you want, like other inmates, I don't want to say inmates, other guys that are in there, right? Other prisoners though,
right.
They, those who've gone to trial, and especially like if they're still going to court, they'll give like, I don't want to use the word testimony, but they'll explain like their situation. So if you want, you got the mic, man. The whole world can hear you right now. If you want to do that, you can give your name, your info, your situation. You don't have to say everything, but like whatever you want to say, you go ahead, man. You go ahead and you say it.
I mean, I called to, explain my testimony, tell my story a little bit. I'm in here for human trafficking, something I really didn't do. My girlfriend, she did it, and she said she did it, and I went to trial, and I was still found guilty, even though she wrote a confession letter and said that she committed the crime. They coached the witness several times under Janet Protasevich, and she let it happen over 6 times, and I have that in the record. And the prosecutor, at the time, Jennifer Tate, she's the one who basically coerced the witness to lie on me. Pretty much the second day after I was arrested, I found the police report, and I found that the person who they say alleged I trafficked them actually said that I didn't. And I just found that out recently. So it's a lot of corrupt things going on in our criminal justice system that needs to be changed. So how you guys feel about that?
Well, I know your situation, man. Like I know that.
All right. So yeah, he know y'all sellies too on y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me though, man, it's like I understand though. And I went to trial too, man.
See, his situation is like you got 8 points. You got 8. Right. Let me hold on. You got 8 I would say better kindly. You got 8 things of 8 points of criteria. Whatever they gotta meet all 8 of them. All right, in order to find him guilty. And did they meet? How many, if they met any, did they meet?
They didn't meet any of them.
Okay, so he's saying they didn't meet any of them. Now, another thing too about his situation, man, is somebody else said they committed the crime. Matter of fact, this is the chick that got him in the situation. In other words, like I remember the story too. Like if you want me to fill him in or what?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so they were at Ponderosa. No, I was playing. No, I'm just playing. I remember. This is what happened. He took her. He was gonna like kind of like, I hate to say use the word dismiss, but he was gonna just like, cut her loose, like he didn't want nothing to do with her no more, right? But she was pregnant also. But anyhow, she was like, well, take me to the, to over on Valete. Was it off of 8 Valete the state assistance place, the building? I'm saying it correct.
Housing authority, but it's
okay.
downtown.
All right, so a housing 30, and then he's in his car and he's waiting for her to come down. And a couple hours go by and he's like, why is she still up there? What the heck's going on? Well, then he sees these cops or whatever, and he go to the building, but he's like, he walks in there, right? And then they arrest him, and then he's like,
all calls other than properly placed attorney calls may be monitored and recorded.
He gets arrested. He gets questioned for everything that he's talking about right now, right? And that's it, man. He goes to trial and he's found guilty. But the chick, his girlfriend, the one that the chick that was, she's like, I'm the one that was pimping the other chick. I made this story up.
They thought he was coercing her. But she was getting.
I never even spoke to her after that. I never spoke to her after that. Actually, she wrote a letter to me while I was in county jail, telling me she lied on me and everything.
Hey, what's interesting about you?
The crazy part.
When you say when you say about that writing a letter to you, when we talked to Rick, because Rick's called on the podcast. Rick right now is in the hole. That's probably why he ain't gonna be calling this week. But when Rick was like, the chick who said that he sexually assaulted her, she wrote him a letter and was laughing at him in the letter and saying, "Ha, I got you put in jail, or I got you put in prison, and your life's over," and all talking about like saying stuff like she made it up and she's glad that he's in there now. And he was showing this to his attorney, so he might have still been going to court at the time, and they just dismissed that as nothing. They dismissed the letter as nothing. He's like, this is her right. They could have probably said, well, anybody could have sent this to us and not be her, right? Somebody could have forged the letter. Right. So Rick's situation was kind of like that, where somebody comes and they write a letter and saying that, basically, proving his innocence.
Right. Well, with that situation, what you do, because I do litigation here for other inmates, what you would do is ask that person on the stand that they write the letter. And once they acknowledge that they are the one that did so, then, that testimony or what that letter should become true to the courts and the jury if they see that. So that's one thing that happened with me. They did see the letter, and I was acquitted of the charges of dealing with my baby mama at the time, but not the other person. So yeah. Like I said, exonerating evidence still has come out, and that's before the courts. They choose not to look at it. But it's crazy. It's crazy how the justice system is, how corrupt, and these things that happen behind the scenes where they coerce people and lie to people and pay people to lie on people, and that needs to be brought out more so than anything, because we all think it's justice, but it's corrupt justice and not really justice. So that's one thing I want the listeners to know. For real.
That's sad right there, man.
Yeah.
Now do me a favor kindly, man, because my friend George, like when he was in the prison system, I hate using those words too. When he was, let's say, on vacation, right? He would go. Right. He went across the country. He was all over in like all different kinds of facilities, right? So he's like, man, he's like telling me, he's like, you're whitewashed, Rich. Man, you just be hate. Man, I tell the truth, you just hung out with white people. I know you just hung out with white people. Because now where I was at, everybody just hung out with their own kind. So can you please inform my friend who I hung out with?
Well, you had a diverse group because they came to you, because you was heavily into the Bible, and you was the only actual white person on the unit that actually played basketball. So, a lot of people associated with you because of that. Well,
who taught Hey, ask Rich who taught him how to play basketball, though.
Right. only white person that would actually get out there.
Yep.
So,
He got hard, man.
Right. He got hard.
I got some stories about him. Unbelievable though. Yeah, mess your head up, man.
He talked about you playing basketball too. He said you was pretty good.
Ah, yeah, yeah. You be hooping, bro?
Huh?
You be hooping at times?
No, I don't do anything of that nature in here.
Okay.
No, not at all.
You fighting that case, huh, bro?
No. I'll be chilling. I'll be just, like I said, I'll just go to the law library and more so focus on getting out of here and fighting the corruption that we're talking about and learning as much as I can about the basically the law as much as I can to help other people. That's what I do, and that's what I spend my time doing. Yeah, for the most part.
Stayed in the library looking at the cases, different cases. Who, other guys who had cases like me. I look at the case number and study their case in comparison with mine. I'm like, damn, how the hell he lose? And yeah, it's really corrupt. I think it's the money thing, man. I think it's something with the money. And you sharpen up your skills in there. You get more wiser, you get more intelligent because you read more and you learn more about yourself, what you don't like and what you do like, right? But you get to analyze yourself as well. So at times, it ain't nothing out here, because some people would think they missing a lot. Yeah, we missing a lot of our family and everything, but we got to also remember when we leave here, we leave alone. No one can come with us. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep our mind at ease and not let them get the mind in the body, So when they did get me, they got the body, right? And I said, man, I was determined not to let them get the mind. So I started reading different books, right? And I read the word a lot. So it was like I always concentrate on the right things. I try. And I stayed away from like the negative. We was inside there. We was in the gang in there. I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't no gang banging like that, but it took me to get out here to see the world for me to change my view. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But I stayed educated myself on different things of America, different world, different worlds, and going to the library and getting on, in Carter, just looking things up, man, that could sharpen up my skills and brighten up my, my day at times. Because when you learn something, man, you feel good. You start feeling good, like, damn, I know something he don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like Estrada and all. Like, just a lot, man.
Did you just say Erica Estrada?
No, that's Estrada and
All
Plato.
calls other than properly placed attorney calls may be monitored and recorded.
Well, I don't know what y'all usually do with y'all segments. You know what I'm saying? As an idea, I would say put some music behind this one a little bit if you can, or, play some music, something, in between, the segments or something like that, because sometimes the listener, an instrumental, not
yeah, I tell you, that's that whitewash. Yeah. I was telling him that.
You talking about. see my, I'm already there. I've been there, man.
Nah, I used to always tell him that. I used to always say, man, we should have some type of...
It makes it just something to listen to. People, they be like, okay, I hear my favorite tune or whatever. Yeah. Or just some type of music, you know what I'm saying, between. Because that helps people. It's the listener, catch my they got good music behind them playing or whatever.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's that music you're talking about.
Nah, go somewhere else.
You said you heard that?
Well, no, I can't hear anything.
Okay, well the listeners can hear that. That's because of the audio workstation we got.
Okay,
we got some music, man. We got some tunes,
Yeah, I mean, because it sets the mood. What you're talking about. If you're talking about something angry or something sad or something just,
I like that.
Hold on. Did you hear that now?
No, I can't hear.
You can't hear that.
I know why you can't hear it though. I know why. Because we're patched through through the cord in the phone, not wireless. If we were on Wi-Fi right now, he could hear everything. Matter of fact, if we were on Wi-Fi and we had callers calling in, like if right now a caller was calling in, let's say in the free world, Kimeo, you could talk to them. You could.
What you could do is, ask them questions about them and then have them question, another segment. And what they think about each podcast or this podcast in particular, get their comments and you can blend it together. This is the commentary they said and a little feedback on it. You know what I mean? To make it even better.
You know what it is? I tell you, I got people that call after we're not recording.
Right.
So like right, so it's like I don't pick up the phone at that time because usually I don't have right now at that time like my phone might be off or I'm away from my phone. I'm at work somewhere, you know, and I come to find out somebody called. I'm like, who's this number? So I just send them a text message and tell them tune into the show.
Well, yeah, let's get some feedback. Yeah, let's get some feedback and saying how do the people feel about, you know, some of the injustice and the things they've been hearing on the show. So you may be on a Saturday if they can call as well and give a little feedback.
Well, the number's posted. That's another thing too. Hey, like for instance, I'll tell you what. If like with your family members, so I know you get out there and you talk to people on the outside.
Right.
You could tell them to look up the Manwich channel, right?
Subscribe to it.
Right.
You could tell them to subscribe to it. But if they look up the Manwich channel on YouTube, for instance, right, they're going to come across the Manwich show. And this right here is episode 22 that you're on. And if they go right into an hour into the show, because this first half an hour was just jerking off, basically. Like I was when man was, he had come on the other side of town. So we really didn't start the show until 6:30. Having said that, if they go right into an hour into the show, they're going to be listening to you right now. And then when they see what the look on the screen is, they'll see the caller's hotline. That's posted on the screen. The individual camera views that are all into one camera view. Mm-hmm. We got a multi-view.
And we live on 2 platforms.
Yeah.
On, YouTube and Rumble.
Yeah, and then another thing I want to say about the injustice, you know what I'm saying, sometimes when you start looking at these cases, you start noticing it's the same people always accusing the same people.
Ain't it though? Like, that's deep, man.
Like in my situation, like it was 6 other dudes that got accused of trafficking. The same person. You know what I mean? So, you know, to say a couple names, you know, Cortez Thurman, you know, people like that, you know what I'm saying? Mitchell Green, all of the same person. You know what I mean? So when you looking at stuff like that, like these people have a routine and habit of lying on people. You know what I mean? And that should be brought out as well. Even the girlfriend I was with, the baby mom, she did this to her last boyfriend. So it becomes, you know what I'm saying, Clyde Boyd. You know what I mean? So when you start looking at all these names and looking at all these people, you start seeing like, wow.
Same patterns.
It's a history. It's a pattern. Mm-hmm. And it's always them. The unchanging variable is them. So, you know, these are things that the people in the listeners should understand. And I've talked to multiple people, and some people in here, even with some sexual assault cases, it's always the same chick and the officer. Sometimes the officer and the chick may have a relationship. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You bring me people, I won't tell on your dirty secrets. Keep coming and have sex with me, everything will be all right. There's a lot of dirty cops out there. They're dirty detectives. Mm-hmm. And that's what the community needs to watch out for. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm glad I got to be on your podcast and speak some of the truth.
You know what?
We're glad to have you, man. Glad to have you, man. Bro. We appreciate you. In my first time meeting you, man, you know, I like you, man. You know, you don't get through it like I did, bro. You gonna get through it, man. You know, if you work out, you play basketball, you know, you do anything to get through it, you know. If you don't play basketball. But I'm saying you can work out and do other things that keep your mind occupied, but, you know, we was in a similar situation, man, you know.
Right.
Mine just involved weapons, you know, gunplay, you know.
Right.
1 minute remaining.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
It's good, man. Had the music playing as soon as I hang up the phone.
Yeah. All right. Hey, listen. Hey, you should call again. You should call next week, man. Be a reoccurring guest on the show, man.
Call all the time, bro.
You
every Saturday, bro.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about paying for the phone calls, man. We do that. We hang on.
All right.
All right.
You just called, bro. We're looking forward to hear from you again. And the viewers, y'all heard him and heard what he's going through and what he's been through. So thank you, bro, for calling in, and you have a good rest of your day, man. We looking for you next week, man.
Hey, Kimeo, tell the people about the podcast, man. Let them know, man. If they need a platform, they need a voice, you can give them that number even tonight. They can call up and we'll pick up. They can get put through.
All right.
Hit us up, man. Call us again next week.
Because sometimes people can't call nobody, They don't got nobody to call.
Right.
Tell them we got a platform for them now. Let the world hear.
All right. All right, will do. Well, thank you for having me once again.
You're welcome, bro. You have a good day, man.
Yeah, I told you, man.
That's when you supposed to say every call.
What?
Say goodbye every call.
Okay, all right.
Every call in. Let me see. Every time there you go. Then at the end we let it play. You know, we let it play at the end all the way.
The whole
through.
song. Oh, we
The
could
whole
have done that
song,
right now.
yeah.
Then.
No,
We'll
just
do
like
that from now on, though.
But you said you was gonna show me something though. You was gonna show me something.
I forgot. Let's talk about Kimeo though. First, just hold on to that.
Yeah,
Dude, I was in the cell with Kimeo, man. Like you
How
know,
long y'all was in there?
we were in the cell together for probably like I want to say like 5 months. I ended up getting out the cell with him because I ended up getting in the cell. Oh, with this other dude, it was his other Christian brother, and he wanted me to get in the cell with him. That's Socio Ramon. So I ended up getting in the cell with my Puerto Rican friend that was in there. He was like, man, this was the thing about with Socio. Socio was like, I prayed to the Lord for you to. I've been praying to the Lord for you to get into the cell with me. I've been praying to the Lord for you to get in. That's when I got the cell with Kimeo. Yeah.
So look, tell the viewers though when you in there, right? Tell them you can't spit in the sink. You know.
Oh, because the prison etiquette.
Yeah, the prison etiquette and spit in the sink.
Man, I heard somebody tell me don't spit on the toilet. No, I heard somebody say don't spit.
Then when you pass gas, you just can't pass gas.
Oh,
in
you
prison.
can't
gotta,
fart. No,
you gotta go. You gotta go flush that down the toilet.
Oh,
that's prison
that's
shit.
Stupid, man. Check this out. I'm gonna tell you what.
I'm telling you, that's prison etiquette, man. It's like it's a respect thing because it's a small cell, and you know sometimes we making noodles in the bag sometimes. But if you in medium, that's in max though. Max you can't do that in max, but medium it's like you got a microwave.
Hold on, we got a caller.
You got a microwave in there, so shit. Hello. Hello. That's Cuz. I think that's Tino.
You can talk. You want me to hang up? You hang up then. Press the button.
Go ahead.
You press the button.
You just called though.
It
Crazy,
does,
man.
I grab it. I do everything.
Crazy man. Press the button, man. Press the button.
I'm trying to get you more involved.
Please leave your message for 7 8
You ready to say this is the Manwich show? You just been pranked.
3106.
It's the Manwich show. You just been pranked. Lie. Dude, we could be pranking people. We could be pranking. You know, we could be. Hey, is this Pablo's Pizza?
Hey, today is the first.
Yeah.
Today is April Fool's Day.
Nah, man, nobody April Fool us.
Yeah, man. It's April Fool's. Prank somebody, Rich. Who you got to call? Who you
That
got to
would've
call,
been that.
Rich?
Call that
Who
number
you got
again.
to call? No.
I
big
don't have nobody. Are
Now
you
look.
sure that was him? Are you even sure
I
that was
think
his
that
number?
him.
You think?
Hey, what's the number?
You see it? What's it?
Oh,
What is
see
it? Are you afraid to grab my phone? You gotta
Saw
get.
that number.
I want you to get more involved, man.
man, you
Keep
gotta
answering
get
the
more
phone
involved.
calls.
No, man.
Picking up.
gotta
You
get
afraid to
involved.
talk to these people?
That's your phone, man. That's your phone.
Oh, man,
My
that's-
nephew supposed to call at 8. I was waiting for him to call at 8.
Did you tell him? You told him to call that number?
Yeah, I told him to call. Did I tell him to call that? No. I'm gonna tell him to call it though. I ain't gonna call this number. 414-888-67.
So, what do you think about the Trump indictment? Oh, we got another call. Hey, are you afraid to answer the phone?
Go ahead. Man, be quiet, man. Hello. You on the Manwich show? What up, GG?
Yeah, what's going on?
What up, sis? How you doing?
up, sis? How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
That's what's up. What's up with bro? How you doing?
What's on, man?
What it do, bro? What it do?
Something else and cooling.
All day, man. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate y'all
I'm trying to get in on the conversation,
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So y'all talking about injustice? Injustice of what?
Yeah, and prison's injustice. Then they're wrongly accused.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand that. It ain't nothing but modern day slavery, if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just know how to capitalize off of it now instead of blatantly just, making you do or, stuff, that they had control over, but they don't have control over no more. So they try to make it seem like, well, if you do this crime or you do this, you go to jail, and then they get you up in jail and then they treat you like crap, feed you bullshit ass food, tell you when you can use the bathroom, when you can shower, when you can do this, when you can do that. Like, that's bogus to me.
Yeah, it just, that's the system is so corrupt. Been corrupt for a long time. But
I have never been inside of a prison, but I can just imagine the conditions of the prison, of how they got people living, in unsanitary conditions.
They got people losing their mind. You got people like, I'll tell you, I heard this story recently. I think we were talking about it last week. There was some guy, we were cracking jokes about it though. That's when Pover called. There's a guy, I don't know what he was in there for. I don't know what he was in prison for, but he got to the point where like he was so sex starved that he met he seen a tranny, right? Georgia. And he went into the tranny cell and he's like treating this man that wants to be a woman like he's a woman and talking to him like the man's a woman and demanding sexual favors from the man. Like, you know how like some chicks, they want to be talked to like that. I guess maybe that's why the guy's approach was the way it was. But anyhow, dude lost it. Dude lost it. And like anyhow they put him in the hole and they were gonna send him back to maximum prison. But I don't know how long. For all I know, that guy's been in there.
He going to Baskerville.
And see that brings me back to the point to where I feel like, people in general, they know right from wrong, and they know they have you have conscious decisions, you have a conscience. So, when you out here in the world, and I know there's so much temptation out here, you shouldn't put yourself in positions to get in those type of predicaments so you won't have to go through those type of situations. You know what I'm saying? I understand shit happens.
You saying they got a choice and a chance every morning they wake up.
Yes, every day. You got to make a choice to not do nothing wrong and always do something right, or you got a choice to do something bad and your life gonna go like bullshit.
Well, check it out. Georgia, did you hear the last caller, the last inmate we spoke to, Kimeo? Did you hear his story?
No.
All right, so check it out, Kimeo. All right, well, I'm gonna tell you. I'll give it to you. So, Kimeo was dating this chick, right? And this chick was prostituting. This chick was prostituting another chick, and she got mad that Kimeo was gonna leave her. So she goes up to a housing, the housing authority or like some like welfare place or whatever, right? For assistance. She goes in there and she's like, my boyfriend's outside. He's my pimp. Call the police. Kimeo sitting outside for who knows how long, wondering why she's taking so long in the building. Oh, we got to take this phone call. We'll call you.
Three-way.
I can't three-way.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. Georgie, we'll call you back. We'll call you back.
Three-way. You don't put them in, then call her number, and all of us on be connected.
You have a prepaid call from
Danny.
An inmate at Racine Correctional Institution. Your account balance is $8. And all calls other than properly placed attorney calls
still there,
may
Georgia?
be monitored and recorded. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Hello?
What it do, Danny? How you doing, man?
Hello?
What's going on? Can you hear us, Danny? Can you hear?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear? Can you hear us, Danny? Can you hear us now?
I can hear you now.
All right.
That's what's up. How you doing, Danny? Big Dan, dog?
I was just. But at first I was gonna hang up. I'm like, oh, it must have didn't go through. I'm like, yep. This is gonna be it for tonight. This is my 4th time in line.
Nah, you live. You live, Danny, man. You live, dog. Good to hear from you, bro.
Let me ask you this. When you called before, was the line busy?
No, it just wouldn't go through.
Okay, well, when it doesn't go through, that's because it's busy.
I called once and it was busy, I think, and then like the next 2 times it just wouldn't go through.
All right, well,
saying that the swear box was on there the first time, so I just tried to call my aunt. And then once I seen him disappear, I got back in line. Then somebody else must have been on.
Yeah, we were talking.
What's going on with you?
Yeah, we was talking
How
to
you doing?
my sister called. I'm all right, man. I'm all right, dog. Good to see you, man. Good to hear from you too, big bro. You know, we was on the phone with my sister, right? And you know,
yeah.
And we were trying to find a way how can we merge both of you guys, but you know,
I know how to.
She have a new phone.
Hey, no, I know how to. We'd have to go. We got to get off Facebook Live. And then we go Wi-Fi through that phone, and then we could have 2 phones on at the same time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to give me another phone. That's what I'm gonna do.
No, you couldn't. You see, because we still need that line freed up. We would need that freed up. Yeah. So depending on how YouTube and because right now you're live on YouTube. You're live right now on 2 platforms, Danny. You're on YouTube and Rumble.
Yeah, the world can see you.
Yeah.
You know,
and we got your photo.
The brother in the back. It's always hard to hear him.
It's kind of hard, huh? And we turned up to the max too.
No, because you're away from the mic sometimes.
You can hear me now.
I can hear you, but you still sound muffled.
Okay, what about now?
Say again.
You hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so, you know, we was having a conversation about with the last viewer, and she was my sister, but we had a conversation about the injustice of this, you know, system, how they so corrupt, you know, and no one taking, you know, it serious. And
have Harvey repeat it.
All right, check it out. This is what he's saying. He's saying that, like right now in the prison system, you got people that, for instance, you got people that went to trial, they were found guilty, right? And they claims their innocence. Like the second inmate we spoke to, the second guy we spoke to, Kimeo Conley, he used to be on that unit. And Conley's in there for human trafficking, but it was his girlfriend was the one pimping this other chick. Okay, like if I say this is what he said, all right, here's the thing about it. In his trial, his girlfriend got on the stand and said that she made the story up and that she was the one that was actually human trafficking this other lady, right? And yet he was still found guilty.
He went to trial and everything. And he lost his trial. And the girl said she didn't do it. She wrote statements. You know, she, you know, wrote to the judge. She did.
Basically, this is a recantation from her original statement, though, right?
Yeah.
From her original statement.
Yeah, they probably didn't believe her. They probably figure from prison phone calls that they've been in contact and things like that.
Now the thing about that, what you just said,
he never talked to her. He never talked to her again after the case. After she implicated him, she never talked to him again. Or he never talked to her again. So they never had no contact again.
After he was arrested. After he was arrested, he never spoke another word to her.
That's the craziest thing about it. And he got 15 years.
she just came in voluntarily and recanted? Is that what you saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems like they would overthrow the conviction.
Right.
Take legal counsel. Take legal counsel though. They just don't do it automatically though. How did that even get back in the court? That was him getting back in the court with that new information though, right?
No, he hadn't even been found guilty yet of a crime. When he was in his trial, during his trial, she got on the stand and recanted, saying that she was the one that was actually prostituting his other defendant against him, and she made the story up, but he was still found guilty.
Way out.
Right now,
he's better legal counsel.
Well, right, yeah. Well,
no. Enough about him, because we had a whole little segment about him just now. Now, what about you? How you doing, bro? Tell us a little something what you been doing this week, man.
I've been doing all right. Just had some nice chicken sandwiches yesterday. Chicken sandwiches and fries and chocolate chip cookies. You just reminded me of those chocolate chip cookies. I haven't eaten.
I know, right?
But
man.
I've been doing all right. Today I got up and before working out, I opened up my King James Bible and realized that I hadn't completed something. I was writing down all the Hebrew and Greek words for love, and I had the scripture written by the number from the Strongs. And so that's what I got up this morning doing, just going over all those scriptures and finding what they actually meant. Then I learned that Philadelphia, they call it brotherly love because the Greek word for that is Philadelphia.
Is it? That's nice. I like that. I like that. Hey, but hey, can I tell you something though? I'm an Israelite. I'm a Hebrew Israelite, man. You ever heard of that?
Who?
A Hebrew, like a Hebrew Israelite.
Still can't hear you.
He said he's a Hebrew Israelite.
A Hebrew Israelite?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your opinion on that, Danny? Like, what's your opinion on that?
Is he Jewish?
Yeah.
He Jewish?
The real Jew.
Oh, then that's probably your lineage.
Now, what was your reason?
He said he was a Hebrew of the Hebrews. He was Jewish. Now, the term Hebrew Israelite, I think that's like synonymous. They go hand in hand. You know what I mean?
No, I'm explaining a little bit to you what a Hebrew Israelite is. A Hebrew Israelite is the people that got enslaved here. They came to this country here.
Okay, you've been enslaved.
Yeah, they was enslaved. They never was slaves. They was enslaved. And, God said, if y'all disobey my word, I'm going to enslave y'all for 400 years, right? And he said this in Acts 7:6. He said, your seed to Abraham. I want you to hear this. He said, your seed will sojourn in a foreign land that's not their own, and they will be mistreated and enslaved for 400 years. Now, Egyptians, when the Israelites was mixed and mingled with the Egyptians, they was there 430 years. And we was the only people that came here for 400 years. And it's 3 years now. So
it's like whatever you speaking through got so much bass that it sounds like
all calls other than properly placed attorney calls may be
we might got to switch
recorded.
microphones.
All right, this is what he's saying. This is what my friend's saying. Like how you look at Deuteronomy 28, it talks about how the Lord would punish Israel if they were disobedient and they would enslave them. They put them back into slavery, and they'd be sent on ships, and nobody want to buy them. Well, you got. There's a movement. What's it called? The Hebrew Roots movement?
No, it's the Black Hebrew Israelites.
Okay, it's called the Black Hebrew Israelite movement, and in the Black Hebrew Israelite movement, you know how it talks about in the Old Testament that you know how God delivered the children of Israel out of bondage from Egypt after 400 years.
Right.
Well, they look at it like they say, well, that was a total of 430 years. So they're like, this really can't be. They're like Deuteronomy 28 is in reference to us as African Americans in America today, and we're the true Hebrew Israelites because we were enslaved for 400 years in America, and America's the real Egypt. And there's this a big movement.
I'm talking about it's deep. But this the thing though, bro. This the thing with me. I'm the one gonna take down the Black Hebrew Israelites. That's the thing. Because this is what they beliefs is and what they truly believe. They believe that the white man is the devil. That's what they saying. But I always say it, I go back to what the truth is. If they the devil, what about the mixed kids? One parent is white and one parent is black. How can they be like that and preach hate? And Jesus said, go teach to all nations. He said, go among the thieves and go around the wreckers and teach to all nations. He ain't just say particular people. You don't add or take away what God said. He said the word is God and the word was made flesh man. He said love your neighbor as you would like to be loved and treat them as well. And put your father first. The thing they done, they preaching hate. Yes, everyone can.
Did he say Malcolm X?
No, what he said is, what he's saying is that there's a group out there called the Hebrew Israelites.
The Black
Hebrew Israelites, and they're preaching hate out here. And what they do is they look at their scripture in the Old Testament, like let's say for instance, in the Song of Solomon, where Solomon writes that my skin is black, right? They're like, well, they look at moments in the Old Testament where the identity of ethnicity with being children of Israel, that they identify themselves as being black, and they're like, so this is us because we're black. And there's some research into it that could give it credence. That could give it credence in terms of like, I'm not saying, but I'm talking about like a lost tribe. But like if I said anything, I'd say
it's
like
no different than the black French and the black Creoles and things like that, right?
Yeah, you know, everyone in all them continents, yeah, they was people of color. And before, you know, people started establish these roots and foundations. The thing was, you know, they got greed. And they disobeyed God because Moses took us out of Egypt. So when Moses took us out of Egypt, we went to the Middle East and we went to the wilderness. And they started worshiping idols and statues that God said take his people from. Because Egyptians never worship idols. They never worship God. They worship idols and statues. They never believe in the true God. That's why Moses had to come get them out of there. Because God is a jealous God. So when they went to the Middle East and they started, you know, they was there for 40 years. Moses.
Did he say the Hebrews never worship God?
No, the Egyptians.
The Egyptians, he said.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the Egyptians.
Idols, absolutely.
Yeah, they worship idols and statues. And when they was mixing mingle and they had sex with the Egyptians, Joseph died because Joseph took over, you know, the kingdom of Egypt. You know, he took over the kingdom of Egypt when Pharaoh passed. You know, Joseph has his trials and tribulations. He was in jail for 7 to 8 years because his Pharaoh wife blamed him of sexual misconduct. And she lied just because she liked him. Right? And when he got out, you know, Pharaoh had favor with him.
Wife.
Yeah, and Pharaoh had favor with him. You know, so when Pharaoh had favor with him, he gave him half.
Made him the second.
Made him the second. Now, when Pharaoh died,
Right.
Joseph took over. He the king now. He the man. The thing was, he never left God. It just when he brung his brothers, his father Isaac, all the men, they started having sex with the Egyptians and they started worshiping idols and statues. So there was a young man named Moses had to come deliver them from doing that, because God is a jealous God. So when Moses was a killer. He was a murderer as a young age, you know, and he grew up learning about Egyptians, you know. So Moses had to go get his people out of there, even though he had a stuttering problem. He couldn't speak. He had a real bad stuttering problem.
Attorney calls may be monitored and recorded.
So his brother spoke for him, Aaron, who was 4 years older than him. He always spoke for him. So Moses went there, confronted Pharaoh, telling him what God's demands was. You know, they got the people out of there. The thing was, Pharaoh enslaved them. He looked at the manuscript. This is why Pharaoh enslaved them before Moses even came. Pharaoh, you know, when Joseph died, the son of Pharaoh rose, became king, and he running Egypt now. Now, he looked at the manuscripts. He was like, oh, Israelites and Egyptians should never mix and mingle. So he enslaved everybody who was mixed with Egypt and Israelite. I mean, Egyptians and Israelite. But the Egyptians stayed on one side and the mixed people stayed on the other side. So he enslaved all of them, because they was worshiping a different God than his, that his parents and so forth, forefathers was worshiping. You know, they was worshiping Baal, B-A-A-L, Baal, you know, and God is a jealous God. So that's why Egypt doomed to this day. But when Moses got older, you know, to have courage, you know, he listened to the angels that God brought to him and told him, you know, you had to go deliver my peoples out of Egypt. So that's the story on that. So but they went to the Middle East and started worshiping for 40 years idols and statues again. So Moses couldn't, because he broke the commandments, then he had to make them all over again by himself. Remember, God did it in stone. You know, honor your God.
He broke the first set.
Nah, you remember? He broke the first one. Remember, he had to write it in stone. The second one, God couldn't do it the second time. He said, "You got to do it now," and it took him a long time to write them damn commandments. But he did it. But that was one of the reasons he couldn't get to the Promised Land. The Promised Land had 54 countries there. 54 of, you know how like United States have one country in many states? The Promised Land had 54 countries, man. 54. And they went there and did the same thing God told them not to do. Then you go to Acts 7 and 6, and that's the part that they leave off on. You'll see he forsaken.
Speaking to the stone, he hit it.
He hit it. Steady speaking to it. And he came down there.
Which was not glorifying God in front of the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why he didn't get in.
Yeah. Then Aaron, he left Aaron down there in charge. Aaron know better. Aaron couldn't get there neither, because Aaron allowed them to still worship idols and statues while Moses was up there talking to God. And
he allowed him,
he allowed him to do that. So he came down there, he was pissed. He said, how? You just saw this miracle. He just broke y'all out of here. So I compared the two, you know, what they talking about and who the people we is over here. And I do the two, and I compared it to. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. These the same damn people that worship idols and statues, man. So 16
remaining.
You know, what you think about that story, man?
I get it. I get it. I know that they were blacks and things like that, but as far as the slavery thing, it's been going on since then. Right now we just living in the cesspool of the whole calamity starting all over again.
Did you ever read Deuteronomy?
Putting themselves in bondage and putting themselves in Egypt right now.
Yeah. Do you believe in? Did you ever read Deuteronomy 28 verse 68?
Say again.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 68.
I didn't hear you.
He said, "Did you ever read Deuteronomy verse 28, verse 60, 20, chapter 28, verse 68?"
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
right. He
Yeah. What's up, nephew? So who you think them people was then? If he read it,
he says he thinks it's the children of Israel. He thinks the people that are in Israel right now.
But I don't think,
Well, I'll tell you next week.
I don't think he really knows.
Listen. Okay, listen. Next week, he can. Next week, if he calls in again,
I can explain it more.
Then you can get.
Because I don't think he get it though. I don't think he understand that what the curse was mentioning. He say don't have abundance, and everything that happened here, that's what happened to them. And I'm like, damn, you weren't reading it then. You know? Because if you understand what he said this will happen. You have yokes of irons around your neck, your wrists, and your ankles. He said you will be, people want to buy you, but no one want to sell you. The women be like this, the man would be like this. This will happen. Nobody.
No, you mean
like
people would want to sell you, and nobody want to buy you.
Yeah, they want to sell.
You know, he I don't know why nobody else says anything about that mic.
Yeah, I don't know. I talked to the other guy, then the other guy before him.
Yup.
And the mic was fine, man.
Yeah, man. I don't get it, man. When we almost want to take that piece off.
Yeah, man. It's like
just leave that right there next
but this
week.
The thing. But this the thing, though. You know,
what?
I had to realize. I believe that we them people, right? But the thing is this: we can't blame no one for what happened. You know, because that's what God said. You know, we can't blame nobody, no government or nothing. We have to do better. The thing is, we got to turn to God more. We don't continue doing the same things until we change, man. Until we change and start coordinating. Everyone else stick with each other.
Let's call Georgia back.
Let's call it back. Call it back.
Go ahead, press the button. Tap the top, the number, the first number. Tap it. Yep, the top number right there, and then tap that little phone right there, right in the corner.
You should have tapped it.
No, I want you to do it right there. Put your hand right there. Now you just tapped the wrong thing.
We're going to Walmart now. We're going to Walmart.
Going to Walmart right there. I want right there. You tap it because I want you to get involved, man. You gotta get involved. I got all the controls right here. There you go. Yeah, I want you to be frustrated too. There. Now you get frustrated.
Play too much. Somebody gonna keep calling tonight too. What?
I hope they do. Then we'll be like, okay, we'll call you back. We gotta take these phone calls.
Man, we can't do this.
We can't.
We gotta merge it. Write that number down. That's what it is.
Hey,
924-12-42.
Hey, can you hear your brother? Can you hear your brother loud and clear?
Yeah, I hear him loud and clear.
You hear me? Yeah, our apologies with the prison calls. They in prison and everything, and you know that's more important because you could call anytime you want to. You know, that's the privilege.
Right, I understand. I still be tuning in. You know, listening.
I'm gonna merge you though. I'm gonna try to when we talking to you, I'm gonna try to merge you in, but I gotta remember the number, you know, so I can merge in. So I ain't remember the number, so I gotta really, you know, keep that in mind. But yeah, now what you were saying, back to the rhythm of a hand. Richie know it. He know it good though.
Back to the nature at hand. I'm gonna let him understand from a podcaster's perspective. You could be learning the man, burning the man, at the same time turning the man.
You already know, man. Go ahead. What you stating now? You speaking truth too, man. Everything you was saying, G, you speaking truth. So, you know, you continue on.
I was just saying, you know, like people, you know, in general, they know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? They know, like, they have a conscience, and your conscience tells you whether to make a good decision or a bad decision. You know, and so you shouldn't be putting yourself in those type of positions that make you end up behind those walls being somebody's slave. You know what I'm saying? Because that's basically what they are making people. You know, you working for pennies. You know, you work for pennies. You know, you put in all this labor, making all this product for them, but you get like $20 every 2 weeks. You probably don't get that. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't even getting that. Every 2 weeks, I was getting like $9, $8.
You know, so I was just saying,
you
like,
get in the podcast.
Us as a people,
are you supposed to be working today?
Us as a people as a whole.
I hear you, G.
Us as a people as a whole just need to, you know, like, get conscious. You know what I'm saying?
Just
Get really conscious.
Just doing what's right, you know? Like every day. It's all right. You know, it took me a while to get there, until I start, you know, analyzing who I am, you know, what I don't like about myself. So when I realized that, I learned the good in me, you know, and I recognized the good. So I started just doing better things that I believe that what God tell me to do, and I go with that, you know. So it's nothing wrong, you know, to do what's right. You know, I tell all the young men,
Right.
young kids, you know, it's all right to be cool, man. You don't have to be tough.
Yeah.
You don't have
It's
to.
okay to work a job. It's okay to work a 9 to 5.
Yeah, man.
It's okay to be a square. It's okay. Because you know what? That's keep you out of trouble and you thinking smart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not thinking irrational or thinking off impulse because you want to hurry up and do this or hurry up and do this or hurry up and come up and this, that. Sometimes the turtle run the race, not the rabbit.
Yeah.
Hello, you have a prepaid call from
Yeah, you right about that.
an inmate at Racine Correctional Institution. Your account balance is 6. All calls other
Hello.
than properly placed
Let me
attorney calls
connect
may
you,
be
G. Let me
monitored
try.
and recorded. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
What it do? What it do? Who is this now?
I got through.
No, who is this?
Uh-oh. What happened?
Who is this speaking?
What happened? Where are you?
Oh, what's going on?
You just cut off. Where'd you go?
I'm right here. Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hold on, wait a minute.
No, he can't hear you. Hold on.
Join me.
I'm right here. What's going on?
Come, child. Join me, Harvey.
All right, I'm killing you. What's going on?
I got you. What happened?
We're trying to. My friend is trying to hook it up to where he can do a 3-way phone call. He's trying to do a freeway. He's trying to do a 3-way phone call right now off the podcast.
Oh, okay.
And
all right.
We're gonna see right now if we can do it. What's her number?
On the other end while it was really, really quiet.
Go to the recent call. Go to the recent call.
Again, it's really, really quiet again. Yeah.
So you can hear me? Can you hear me now?
Come back.
Can you hear me now? Hey, can you hear it now?
This is crazy.
Can you hear me now?
Where'd you go?
I'm right here.
What happened?
Oh, it's right here. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Hold on. Yeah, right now he's trying to. You're gonna have to. It's gonna have to be after the show. We're gonna have to figure it out after the show.
Did you hear me at all?
Do you see it though?
Yeah, I could hear you the whole time.
Did you see the?
Oh, you could hear me the whole time? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. You heard me crying then? Don't tell nobody.
Yeah, I heard you crying, man. Talking about, man, please.
Don't tell
I'll
nobody.
give you my
Damn
coffee.
it.
I'll give you my coffee. Don't hurt me. I'll give you my coffee.
Yeah, right.
I got Folgers. Don't hurt me.
$10 a week, man. I got you.
Oh, dude, you know what? I got your photo too, dude. I'm gonna put your photo up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. What? You know, you got.
Which one?
It's gonna be
the Amish looking one.
Yeah, dude. That's the one that's there.
With that fat beard. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice
There he is, right there.
I look innocent as hell, don't I? Hell yeah, Amish and shit. Amish don't do nothing wrong.
No, who is this now? What's his
This
name?
is Tom, man. Tom, hold on.
Tom been on the podcast before?
Yeah, Tom's been on. Tom's been on. Like, I was doing this show called. Hold on. What was it called? It was called Prison Edition. Remember?
Oh yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
I did a couple episodes of Prison Edition with Tom because Tom, he's a legal mind, just like Conley. Conley called today, actually. You know, another thing too, dude. We got Conley. In. Dude, I'm telling you, listen. We got to grow the podcast, man. Here, this is the thing.
Yeah.
And I don't expect much, but dude, let's get the word out, man. Get the word out to those guys there. Because, you know, like, cool. For instance, like with you, for instance, you went to trial, you were found guilty. Conley went to trial, he was found guilty.
I just counted the other guy went to trial and found guilty. What's
shady
his name?
as hell, man.
Danny
I'll tell you that.
guilty.
No, the other
but
one.
So shady how they do trials.
Kate?
Trials are a sham. Think of this. I got something for you.
I said his name. Kimeo.
So when you're in a trial and they're swearing in the jury, right? And then they read the jury instructions, right? The jury instructions, maybe an hour and a half of instructions. At that point, the jury is supposed to know the law. But then you got 20 years seasoned judges that still make mistakes after 20, 30 years of judging. And they expect the jury in an hour and a half to know the law and then judge you upon it.
And then give people years in prison if you're found guilty.
Years.
Going to trial. They slam you
for exercising their right to go to trial. Now they cop out. They cop it out and they justify it by saying, well, he could have took a plea deal and got 5, but he went to jury and got 20. So they look at it like, hey, we offered you a plea deal. You could have taken the 5, but you exercised your rights to trial. So just because I exercised my rights to trial, they could have still given me 5, but instead they'll give you 20 or 30.
I think when you go to trial, though, you waste a lot of money. Like I went to trial, I wasted millions.
I mean, is that not punishing you for exercising your rights?
Yeah, it is punishing, man, because what they're saying is that the way they're looking at it is these strangers found you guilty. So if these strangers found you guilty, you have to be guilty. And now because you have to be guilty, you tried to evade justice. And because you sought to evade justice, now we're going to be harsh towards you.
Yep.
And
now that they made you guilty, you're now convicted. And that's what people see. They see convicted. You must have done it.
I do another thing too about that is like if you're found guilty and you're in there, if you don't agree that if you don't tell them that you are guilty of a crime, then they'll continue to punish you. They will. Like if you have to take a program, if you have to take a class and you don't say, I did this, even if you didn't do it, then that's held against you. And like in Wisconsin with truth and sentencing, they'll let you out still because they have to let you out.
Right.
But then you'll only be out for like 2 weeks, maybe a month, and then you'll be right back. And the reason why you'll be right back is because
Rich,
what?
That's why I will not take programs in here. And when my PO comes and sees me, that's going to be the very first conversation I have with her. If
dude,
I
they're going to
out,
put you back in prison and you're going to have to run. Right. You're going to have to escape, dude, because you're going to have to run. I'm going to tell you right now. Literally, you're going to have to run, Tom.
No. The thing is I'm going to have a conversation with her, and I'm going to straight up say,
dude, they're not
going to in a program,
Tom, they're not going to care,
where they're going to mandate me to say I'm guilty of a crime I didn't commit. Just leave me here. Because that'll never happen.
Dude, they'll never let. I'll tell you right now. Then this will happen. They won't even let you out of prison.
Good.
Hey,
that's not good. That's not good, Tom. You could because worst case scenario, Tom. And I
how much you got left, Tom?
I will not ever. I have more dignity, more respect. People may call that crazy, but I will not admit to something I did not do.
Hey, that's how I feel. They won't let me work release, right?
Not only that I've proved in state courts, proved in federal courts that I did not do it, but yet they still won't let me out.
This is the thing, Tom. I went to minimal, right? You can hear me, Tom?
I can hear you.
All right, I went to minimal, right? And I had to do this little program, right, just to go to work release, but they want me to, say I was guilty. They had want me to admit that I was guilty, man. I ain't never admit that one time because I know I ain't do it, right? And they was mad at me, like they was like, he guilty. Why you won't just admit? Because if you admit and everything, we'll let you go on work release and make you some money so you can prepare yourself for the world. I'm like, man, I just can't though. So I ain't never admit. Every parole hearing I hit, I never admit.
All calls other than properly placed attorney calls may be
they ain't like it, Tom. They hate it.
And they take your minimum away, right?
No, man. Guess what? I stayed committed, and I was in there. I was talking about how I changed. I said I changed a better man. I said I changed because you know what? It made me better. It made me realize what people is, because people will fail you. I said people will fail you, and my conversation, the conversation I had with the parole board, man, it was so heartbreaking that they gave me minimum, man, because I told them the truth. And they knew it because I went to try and I fought with everything I got. I said just because I found guilty, that don't mean I admit to it. That's something I didn't do.
Exactly.
I can't admit to something I didn't do, man. And they wanted me to.
That's where I'm at.
They want me to admit. Guess what I did? The program and everything, and I'm in the program telling them I ain't do it. Like it was wrong, man. Yeah. Like God favored me. So I went to the program. I said I ain't do it. They was like, you know what?
Yeah.
You got to have some type of accountability. I said accountability to being with them associates. That's what I take. I take that, but I ain't gonna take that I did anything to harm anyone. I'm not gonna take that. But I will say, I will say that the streets, led me in a different path. They tricked me to no snitching law, because no one was there, I'm the only rappy. So no one had my back and nothing. So I'm like, dang, what was the reason that I didn't decide to tell, Because if I would have told, they offered me a plea deal was 3 years in, 3 years out. I ended up doing 15, man.
Right. I mean, hey, check this out. After a month I was in jail, the DA offered me 9 months in county jail. I would have been out in 6.5. I already been in 1, so I would have been out in 5.5.
So
I said no.
How long you been out now? I mean, how long you been in?
13.
And now how long you got left?
7.
Oh yeah, you right there, man. They gave you 20.
Yeah.
You right there.
Yeah. Then when we were at our last hearing before trial, the DA offered me 3rd degree, but before she offered me this, she was like, I don't think Mr. Glass is going to take this offer, but we're prepared to offer him 3rd degree right here, right now, which carries 6 years. I said, no, let's go to trial. I'm innocent.
You know what?
Period.
And you know what? When I took the programs, right, I ain't say I was guilty. I ain't say none of that. I went with the flow.
But his situation is different. Like I don't know how you got around that, but in his situation,
I got a sex case.
They're not. Yeah,
so
they're not gonna.
We're required in the program to admit that we're guilty. Otherwise, it's non-compliance. But here's the thing: I'm TIS. I do 20 years to the day whether I take programs or not. So
what I'm telling you is though, like if you get let's say you reach the 20-year mark, right? The world doesn't end. You reach the 20. Because I say that because of right now what's going on with Ukraine, Russia, the U.S. dollar, and how things are going in that direction, and how the U.S. dollar is beginning to crumble, and the Chinese dollar, I think it's called the yuan, is beginning to replace the U.S. All kinds of crazy stuff's going on out here right now. Having said that, okay, let's say you step out, dude. For one, they have to let you out, yeah. But now, if you don't agree to sign the rules, if you don't sign those rules, they can keep you in there. That's one thing. Like, but now the rules could be. I can't remember what all the rules and stuff is. But
well, see, that's a conversation I'm going to have. If it's mandated that I admit something I didn't do, I just won't sign the rules.
Well, yeah, I hope. I tell you, I've heard people, and they're like, I didn't do it, and they're like, well, if you don't say that you did it, then they're like you're gonna get revocated.
Yeah.
To them people.
But here's the thing. If you say, I wonder if that's a Fifth Amendment to the Constitution type deal where you're self-incriminating yourself, but you're convicted. So are you self-incriminating yourself? I'm gonna have to look that up. You know what I mean? Like if I admit in a program out there, oh yeah, I did it, then I'm admitting guilt. That's self-incrimination.
No, you know what they do? This is what they do.
I'm protected against self-incrimination by the Fifth Amendment. Can I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence? I'm gonna have to look into that.
Dude, look into that, because I know that there was this guy and he went to trial, right? Check it out. He went to trial and he got 20 years, and he was under the old law. I don't know how he was under the old law, but he was under the old law, so he got paroled, right? But now here's the thing about with him.
He must have just made it because they abolished parole back in 01 or something, 99 or some shit.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Then I don't understand it, but I'll tell you this. He was like, I did it. I went to trial. I tried getting away with it, whatever. He's like, but I did it. And he's like, I had to say it. If I didn't say I did it, then they would have put me back in prison.
Right.
And
I don't mind.
He said parole, dude. This guy was saying parole. So I don't understand it myself. Then if they embossed it and
I mean, you can take it to the bank. You can mark my words. I will not ever. I'll go to my grave. You won't hear me say I did it, because I didn't. It's that simple. There's no way.
How's that?
So if I got to do the rest of my prison term, with ES, my prison term, then whatever. I got nothing to worry about. Hey, my biggest expense in here is $750 copay, man. I got better benefits than most people out there. I don't have to deal with all the inflation or the crap out there. I got less of a chance of getting violated, killed, strangled, my car jacked in here than out there. I mean, I'm good to go. I got nothing. I got bitches. Bitches got me backed up. Got my little servants here. They take care of me.
Dude, what's going on with the conversation? Who are you talking about? Who's the chicks? Like, what are you talking about? No, like, seriously, you're like, I got backing me up. Who's back? Oh, you talking about, like, elaborate. You talking about, like, you actually got guys in there that are, like, got your back or what?
No, COs.
Oh.
They wait on me.
Oh.
I got nothing to worry about. I got not a care in the world, man. I just chill here. I go to rec. I do what I want. I just can't leave. That's it. I'm fed. I'm clothed. I got a hot cot. Three hots in a cot, man. That's to the old saying.
Yeah.
What do I got to worry about? You have more to worry about out there than I do in here.
But whoever, all the viewers that's listening, we don't condone that. That you come to prison and you freak out because the world is bad and everything. We tell you guys, stay doing what's right and stay focused. Now, Tom, continue on.
Can you get closer to your phone?
Yeah, I think I'm close. I think I'm too close to sometimes, to this damn mic, right? I think I might have to change the mic. That's what I might do. So we might have to. You can hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's kind of muffled, almost.
No, that's how I'm gonna tell you. You know what it is? You know what it is? That's how my friend talks. I guarantee that's what it is. It's how my friend talks.
You think?
Oh no! I can hear him talk, but it's like a hallway type.
Oh, that's what they were saying. Yeah, Rich, you'll know what you're talking about. Now, do them work? What's them? Which one of them over there? Which one?
The next week, what we'll do is do
they work though? Do they work?
What work?
Do they work? I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, those work.
I'm saying though, we gotta try a different mic.
Well, okay, next week then. No, it's already set up.
We're gonna try a different mic.
You gotta try again here earlier so we can test everything.
I'm talking about, you gotta plug it in. What you gotta do?
Yeah, just leave it right now.
Well, you just gotta click on the button or something.
You know what? When the next caller calls in,
we'll
do that mic over there. You can use the.
But you gotta.
You guys are at the same place.
You don't gotta do all that.
Yeah. We're in the studio right now. We're actually. $1. Yeah, we're live. We're live in the studio right now. You're live on YouTube, and you're live on Rumble. And I'll tell you right now, when you're like, if you end up telling your daughter and your son about the show, tell them to tune into an hour and a half into the show, and then that's where That's right now.
That's where I'm at, huh?
Yep, and you got the photo.
Okay,
we got a photo of you. Your inmate numbers with it, so they can they see all this. They see that they'll know what.
Hey, on my photo, did you give me evil eyebrows and a little curly mustache and all that?
Nah,
make me look like Captain Morgan.
Properly placed attorney calls may be monitored and recorded.
I literally, if you want me to, I could kind of like jokingly like spoof it up. But
absolutely,
I'll tell you what I was gonna do is with Socio, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna with Socio. Socio looks like Luigi from Mario Brothers. I was gonna put a Mario hat on his head when he calls.
Absolutely, man.
He's got this little penciled in mustache on his photo. He looks like Luigi.
Yeah. I called you at about, I think it was like 6:20, 6:40, something like that, and somebody must have been on already from here.
Yeah, if you ever call and that's the case, it's because we're taking calls from another caller.
Yeah,
but,
it always says, like last week I couldn't get through it all. It says, try your call again later. This call is something like it can't be completed. This call cannot be completed. Try again later. That's what it says. So I know when it says that somebody else is on. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. All this time.
Yeah, that's a little better. Yep. What was your name?
Call me Man.
Mick?
No, Man.
Man. M-A-N.
M-A-D? M-A-D?
No, M-A-N.
Oh, Man.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. All right.
Real name George.
You guys are okay. So you're in the studio. So you're at Rich's. Okay, cool.
Yeah. You live, man. You on many platforms, but you live on YouTube. You live on Rumble, man, and many people viewing it, like the whole world.
Hello, America.
Yeah, because some people just click the phone to zoom in. Some people just go through it, and they view it,
Yeah.
Their decision to like it or not or share it,
What's the phones like right now where you're at? Is
1 minute remaining.
What do you mean? They're always busy. Always somebody on it. Once in a while, like in the morning is the best time. In the afternoon, you may find one open, but at night, never.
Well, I was going to say
you got to get in line.
I was going to say if the phone line wasn't that packed, you could call your daughter, for instance, and tell her to check out the show tonight and hear you.
I will. Well, you know what I'll do is I'll text her. Hell yeah, or email, same thing.
Email.
To me, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah. Hey, and while you're in there, spread the podcast, man. Let those guys know in there if there's anybody like you do with guys from a legal perspective. So if you got guys,
just give them your number.
Yeah, just tell them say if they've got claims of innocence to chime in, and we'll put them
DOC grievances.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell them call us every Saturday night between 6 and 9 because that's when we go live. All right, go back to the other mic, dog, because it's dumb, dude. And that mic, they just can't.
Oh
hear
man,
you
good? No, we don't use this one. We don't use this to go back to that one. If this one working, think about it. How that sound?
That it's really.
What's on it? What's on the mic?
That's the crappy mic. Yeah, go grab the other mic. I'll fix the other mic.
It can't be crappy if it sounds like this. You hear me?
No, it's because it's bogging out.
Where is that? What they showing it at? This one bad? Let's see.
No, you got to push that one back now. Oh, you're going to break all the mics, man.
No, we not, man. How we is? Oh, yeah. We back.
Yeah, they just, that's like. So, don't drop the soap.
No. What I say is this, though. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, how you get found guilty of that,
Oh, you talking about with Tom?
Yeah. Like,
Tom, well, next time he calls, next week, if he calls again next week.
Yeah.
He can explain to you his situation, but it was his kid's mom. She was dating this other guy, and she was still having sex with him, and she didn't want the other guy to leave him, so she was like, well, he raped me.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'll get it now, because this hearsay, this a hearsay state.
Yeah. And so that's
I know a lot of people was in because of that too, Like, other dude, he said, what's his name, Kimeo?
Yeah, Kimeo,
Yeah, Kimeo, yeah. Kimeo bald head?
Nah, I'm gonna see about pulling up his thing right now. No, he's not bald headed scallywag. He's got hair on top. It might be jailed up.
You got no hair on the top. Jailed up.
Weed up.
Your hair is messed up. Need to get a condition. What they say? How they go? I'm gonna have to wake that brother up. What's his name again, too? He ain't know who the Israelites was.
You talking about Danny?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wake him up, man. He's like, I don't know, cause I know they don't have like access to an internet or something. Cause if you watch the video, he'll be like, oh man.
He's gonna be like, oh man, this dude's lost, man.
He gonna be like, man, that's crazy. Everything makes sense.
Well,
I want you to elaborate on that crushing the dollar too, man.
Oh, what's going on? You got other countries right now that are they're not using the U.S. See, the U.S. dollar is the world reserve. Everybody uses the U.S. dollar ultimately for transactions, right? But countries are now not. They're using the Chinese dollar. The China is called the yuan or the yuan. But they're using that. And so what that's doing is it's like, think of a neighborhood where everybody's buying crack from one house and then another house moves in and people start buying crack from there too. And then people are like, wait a minute, you're taking our money from us.
They crack rocks is bigger.
It doesn't matter. Well, okay, fine. So they're like, so that's what's happening.
Yeah, that's why their money must cost more. Then they put more value.
Nah, because people.
That's what Gaddafi trying to do. They killed him because of that.
No, okay.
He's trying to make that. He trying to make money. The money over there.
They try to get away from the U.S. currency and create their own dollar.
Yeah, they create their own dollar and they assassinated him because of that. They killed him, his own people, because they manipulate the news and the media. You know how this works.
The cats in the cradle and the silver
news
spoon.
propaganda. Back and back.
Little boy.
Then you got Ukraine over there. They suffering. People come here. How many come at months? Every month, Richie?
And through Mexico, it's like 1,500 a week.
Through Mexico?
Yeah.
They trying to make a way through here. Do some of them get here or what? What you been reading about?
Oh, I'm trying to get Kimeo's photo. If I get his photo.
Hey, he was right too about the music too, man. Like we had some in the background playing. I like that. For people to call and have relaxation, not just quiet.
Hey, when you were talking about what is it? When you were talking about basketball, nah, he's a brain.
What you mean?
He's a thinker. Not to say you're not. I'm saying like his focus isn't on sports. His focus is on reading, and right now the law, and that's it. That's all he's focused on.
He don't work out or nothing.
No, he's thin.
He real skinny.
Yeah.
He don't work out. He don't do nothing.
Just reads. Yeah.
I can't say nothing about it because it's educational. It's the main thing. Educate your mind is better than, I believe, working out. But you need the body. You need to keep in shape, man. While you're in there. Do something that's physical so it can take the strain off you. Take the strain off your time, man. And all that. So, yeah, so what I was gonna say?
Damn, I can't even find him, dude. I'm sure I'm spelling his name right.
Might be wrong. But the thing is this, I remember me and Wu, we used to walk to the south side, man. To come and see you, Rich, as a kid. We'll use the same bus fare. Like, we'll get on the first bus. We'll cut, a piece off to we'll walk for a while, then we'll catch the bus. Walk for a little bit, catch the bus, get some exercise in, see could we steal a bike or something. We don't get no bike, man. We just got on the bus, man.
Dude, you guys would walk to my place. You didn't take no city bus to my place, man.
Yes, we did. We did that a couple of times, the city bus. Yeah, but we have our bike,
But that's what you want to pay attention to, is like the U.S. dollar, and like for you and me, we're poor, so we could be. Well, we're not. Our thing would be silver. Yeah. Silver. If we were to get silver,
I think it's gold, man.
Nah, because you know how much it is for an ounce of gold? It's like $2,000 right now, but you can get 100 ounces of silver for $20-some for like $23 or $24 an ounce. Let's say the dollar. Well, you got people preparing like that, and they're getting silver by the ounce because they're going to use ounces of silver as like dollars.
Hey, I believe? I think Babylon don't get destroyed, not in the way that.
Well, that's America.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's Babylon. I think it don't be just like this. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it don't get destroyed like boom and all that stuff. I think it don't happen just like this. Asia, China, because they pollution so bad, because they got so much technology and it's polluting up the air, man. And machines is dead and they don't work no more. They got it piled up to like all about the ocean though, right? And the pollution getting worse and worse, and the garbage spill because there's too many people. I think they was allowed to have a second child because in the beginning they was just allowed to have one child because it was a billion people, and now they allowed to have two children. So it's like it's getting over polluted. So I believe that China, they gonna come here with all their technology. That's how you end, this democracy. I believe they gonna come here and like with their robots, flying cars, like a lot of stuff gonna start changing, man. That we saw in cartoons when we was a kid, like Jetsons. A lot of things gonna start changing though, And right now, democracy stopping a lot. But when it come to a new world order, I don't know what they gonna call it. What would you think they'll call it? They don't be communist. Ain't gonna be dictatorship.
What's gonna happen is
what you think? What's
dude,
the name gonna be though? What you think?
I'm gonna tell you what. I believe. I'm gonna tell you. You want to hear something?
No, I'm asking you a question.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. America's gonna get destroyed by Russia, and China's gonna invade the U.S. I believe in Henry Groover's prophecy of America being destroyed by Russia, and Dmitry Duduman's prophecy of America being destroyed by Russia, and another man by A.A. something.
How Russia gonna just look, man? Look,
you know what? Russia
just got the biggest landmark, man. That's it.
No, you want to hear?
They got the big. Don't let them trick you now, man. They got the biggest landmark. That's it. They got the largest country in the whole world, in the whole continent, every continent. Russia got the biggest landmark.
You want to hear?
That don't mean that they got that many. They don't mean that they got more people than us. You forgot?
It's got nothing to do with people.
Man, we got armies.
Do you realize America? Man. Do you realize America is who's prophesied as the whore of Babylon?
Yeah, I heard that many times.
Now check this out. Check it out.
I don't think you know how powerful we is. I don't think you really
powerful.
Understand.
You're gonna find out that God's fed up with America, man. Like not yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Matter of fact, I heard about this woman that had her son's wiener cut off, and made her son look like a girl.
Man, that's sad, man.
Yeah, you got parents you got people that brought kids into this world, and they want a girl or a boy so badly that they're changing the sex of their kids, and they're grooming their kids to believe that they're actually another sex, so that they can have that child that they always wanted, that sex of a child that they always wanted but didn't have.
Uganda.
What about it?
They
killing gays.
No, yeah, they doing that bad, and they what's that called? LGBT. What's that?
LGBTQ.
Yeah, they said you can't have that up there. Up there, you going to jail, you die. You can't have that nowhere in their country, and they protesting right now. I don't got nothing against no one.
You want to check this out?
Look, wait a minute. I don't got nothing against no one,
yeah.
But I say what God say. He said you can't produce if you have man on man and woman on woman. You can't produce. He said that he don't like it.
You want to hear?
That's why I love him. So
right. You want to hear this? Check this out. I heard about this man years ago, and his testimony isn't the only one. His testimony isn't the only one either, but. He says, I saw submarines attack America. He talks about that the Russians are going to attack NATO first. They're going to take out NATO's command centers. And while they're doing that with their ships, they're going to have submarines parked along the coast of the west and the east coast of America. They're going to launch an EMP over America. They're going to knock out the electronics in America, so there'll be no telecommunications. And then they're going to send nukes up, and they're going to destroy. They're going to target certain cities in America.
I saw the submarines attack America.
Now, I'm showing you him talking, though, but I've listened to his audio also about after the fact when China comes in.
Welcome to the Prophecy Club, where we study and research Bible prophecy. The topic tonight is, I saw submarines attack America. And our speaker is uniquely qualified to do this because God has shown him what is coming for America. Who is he? Why has he earned the right to talk on such a subject? Well, he's been in the ministry for some 38 years, and he walks and prays cities. He's walked and prayed over 200 foreign cities alone. What do we mean, walking and praying a city? He gets a map at God's direction and systematically walks up and down every street in that city, praying out loud, praying in the Spirit, pulling down strongholds, loosing the angels to do warfare. Then he goes up at God's direction on the highest point overlooking that city, where he lifts his hands and he proclaims that land reclaimed to God. Many times revival breaks out. He's had guns at his head, knives at his throat, and God has delivered him from them all. One day, while walking a city, as you'll hear tonight, December 14th, 1986, he was lifted above the earth, and he looked down on it like a globe, and God showed him a vision of submarines launching nuclear weapons and landing here in our beloved America. God does not hate America. He loves America, and he loves Americans, and he loves the Christians here, and he wants to save them. But we have sinned, and we have turned from our God, and he is going to correct us and bring us back to him, and that's what you're going to hear tonight. Will you help me welcome Henry Groover?
Thank you, Sam. The Lord is good, and his mercies endure forever. I want to begin with those words because I want you to remember them through this entire time. Because if you don't, it will be very difficult for you to keep that focus. In Psalms 85, it says, mercy and truth are met together. I believe in a God of mercy. I believe in the power of the truth that sets free. I believe that anything that makes a lie, God will deal with. And throughout this presentation, you're going to find out I believe that God watches over his word to perform every word of it, to the dotting of the I and the crossing of the T. My life was not one that was designed by my thinking to be anything in the realm of prophecy. My father was a prophecy student. I grew up cutting my teeth with prophecy teachers. I come to know at a very young age, through my father's instruction with us boys and one sister, that prophecy is very important. Dad always said to us, the trouble's going to come because of the Middle East. Well, that's scriptural. And the prophecy teachers of many years have been teaching this. But I'll have to confess to you that by the time I was 17 years old, I'd had about this much of prophecy, and I didn't want any more. And I decided my life would not be in the realms of that at all. And so therefore I decided that my life would be that of evangelism if it was going to be ministry at all. And so I thrust myself into evangelism, began at the age of 17 walking cities and evangelizing, and God began to build a discipline of his Spirit in my life. I began to hear his voice and understand well what he was saying to me and his instructions, and I can truly say to you at this very moment, the only reason I'm standing here is because I listened to my Father in heaven's instructions. I learned his voice, and Jesus said in his word and his very own words, my sheep know my voice, and another's will they not hear. And that's very important. You will hear me make statements in this presentation that I will say, thus saith the Lord. You will hear me make statements that I will say, I speak as a man. Please take them in their context. I'm a person that is very cautious about saying, thus saith the Lord. You will also find that I am not a person that gives dates. So if you are going to shut it off and say, I don't want to see this because here's another one of these people that's doing this, you can leave it on. I don't give dates. But I do give the signs of the seasons. And that's very important because I believe Jesus used that facet to teach and to emphasize the seasons. How did he say that? He said, what is it? He said, you see the leaves on the fig tree, you know that summer is near. You see the south wind, you feel the south wind blowing in, and you know it's going to get hot. What is the matter? You can discern these things, but you can't discern the signs of the times. And so I believe with all my heart that God wants us to discern the signs of the times. And the signs will lead you to the time. And you will not be caught without being prepared. And that's the key. And the whole motive, I believe, of God pulling me off of the evangelistic field, and we'll go into portions of that tonight, but the whole motive of going into this and God pulling me off of this realm of ministry was to warn America of what's coming. What I'm going to give you is not gloom and doom. There are three realms that God deals in. And so often I hear people say to me, well, Henry, God has not appointed the Christians to wrath. I totally agree with you. Please don't think I am insinuating in any way in any of the materials of what I give you that this is the wrath of God. This is the beginning of the pleadings of God with the United States of America. He has a controversy with us, and He will begin with pleadings. So we have the pleadings of God, and then we have the judgment of God, and finally the wrath of God follows. I believe God's people, the saints, are subjected to the pleadings of God and to the judgments of God. But I do not believe that they are in any way predestined to be subjected to the wrath of God. So please understand that right up front. I believe that with all of my heart. December the 14th, 1986, I got up at 4:30 in the morning to pray before I would begin walking the city of Carnarvon, northern Wales. I knelt down by my bed, and the Lord spoke words to me that I didn't want to hear. He said, "Are you willing to lay your wife and your family on the altar and never see them again this side of heaven?" He asked me that the afternoon before. I couldn't answer him. And that morning at 4:30 in the morning, when I got up and got on my knees, he said, "I want your answer before you leave the room this day." I jumped to my feet. The tears were streaming down my face. I began walking back and forth in the room, saying, "Lord, I am afraid. I am afraid if you take my family, I will be offended at you. And I don't want to be offended, for your word says, blessed are those that are not offended in me." But I felt that that would be a great sacrifice, and I didn't think my personal being was up to that kind of a request. But as God, I buried my face in my pillow and cried out loud because I didn't want to wake up the people in the rooms around me. God began to bring before me all the years with our children, 13 children. The different circumstances. We had 6 of them at home. Natural childbirth. Yes, we had just about every complication you could name, including one born dead. And I'll say to you that just in less than a month he'll be graduating with his degree in design engineering. So he's very much alive today, only because of Jesus and His goodness. But Jesus took these kind of things and put them before my eyes, just like you're looking at this television screen. A vision is just like looking at a picture in front of you. Only difference is, you're sitting there in your living room or wherever, you can put your hands over your face or stop your eyes from seeing it. But a vision, you can even slap your face and the vision goes on. That's called a day vision. A night vision is when you have a dream. But the difference between it being just, as some people say, too much pizza or something like that, the difference is that when you have a vision from God, detail stays with you. Though it was December the 14th, 1986, every time I ever tell this vision, it comes before me as though it's happening all over again. It is no difficulty to repeat it precisely because I'm seeing it all over again. That's a vision from God. If you have a dream from God, detail stays with you. If you have great difficulty remembering the dream, leave it alone. There is a man, a king, that had difficulty understanding the dream, but I assure you it was from God, and he remembered every detail, didn't he? And when Daniel came before him, he gave him the detail, and that king knew there was no form whatsoever of counterfeit operation going on. This young man knew what dream he had because it was a dream given from God. So I want to go in and begin giving you visions. Try and remember these visions. Note them in your mind. I'll call off certain aspects of the visions because I believe they're going to be of significance in materials that I will offer to you. In that vision, I was standing and looking out over the Isle of Anglesey in Carnarvon, northern Wales, standing on the Eagle Tower on the Carnarvon Castle. This is the Carnarvon Castle, is where Prince Charles, was coronated as Prince of Wales. That's a significant expression and reason I believe that God put me there. There's a lot that can be put into that. But that isn't my particular expertise. We'll leave that with those who feel they have other information on it. However, as I stood there looking out over the Isle of Anglesey from the Eagle Tower, it's the tallest tower of the Carnarvon Castle, all of a sudden, looking out across over the Irish Sea, the tip of the Irish Sea into the North Sea, I was caught up into the heavens and looking down on the earth like a globe. And as I looked down on the earth like a globe, I saw a massive military movement coming out of an area up by the Arctic. And I couldn't figure out what this was, what was going on, why a military, Navy, and Air Force, why it would be going out between the United States and Europe up above Finland, going out through the Icelandic Gap and heading down between the United States and Europe and making a curl all the way around the Horn of Africa towards the Persian Gulf. Now that's significant. When all of a sudden I was alarmed because of that, you would have been too. I looked over toward the United States and I saw something I had never seen in my life. I had never even preconceived the thought of it. I had always thought that the United States was wiser and more powerful than to allow Russian subs to be parked right almost on our beaches per se. What I mean by that is you could see the submarines down under the water, but there were areas that the sand still had drifted on down from the beaches into the depths. And the submarines were sitting there aimed at America. I saw them sprinkled all the way across the East Coast. When I saw that, my family at that time lived in Portland, Oregon. I was alarmed, of course, and I wanted to look over toward Portland to see what was going on. And as I looked across the continent of the United States of this globe, I saw the submarines from way up by Washington, the top of Washington, all the way down around towards San Diego, poised in the same way all the way along our coast in the north from the Pacific side. Then something else caught my attention. I began to see radio towers going up all across the nation. And these radio towers, as they went up, the dotted lines began going out as though they were transmitting. And then there was an alarm went off in me. They're sounding the alarm. We're going to be under attack. The siege is laid. When all of a sudden I was watching these radio dots going out like the transmitting of a warning, and instead of the people being warned, they sprinkled to the ground like dust. And an alarm went off in me, and I cried out in the heavens, and I said, "Oh God, they won't even know what hit them." And at that time, all of a sudden, I looked down on the eastern seaboard at the submarine was drawn to that one right off from New York City. And I saw the missile come right out of that submarine and go right up and come right over the city of New York, and the entire city disappeared. Then I looked down toward Florida. And down there, I could see another explosion take place. I looked across because of my family being in the Pacific Northwest. I looked across. Another explosion took place up by Seattle, Bellevue. And then another one down by San Francisco. And another one down toward Los Angeles. And another one toward San Diego. And there I stood in shock as I was watching these explosions take place and these cities literally disappearing from off the face of the earth.
Signals.
Yeah.
The next instant, I was standing back down on the Eagle Tower, and I found myself literally disappearing.
If you look, that looks like Milwaukee. Here's Chicago. If I don't know how accurate this map is, but I think he's saying that that's where all these missiles were going. Like these could be subs parked. And this is where their missiles were going.
But America got the damn missile signals, though, man.
No, he said they knocked it out. Did you hear? He said that the radio transmissions came up and then they just turned into dust. That was an EMP. You ever heard of EMPs, electromagnetic pulses? Mm-hmm. Well, that's what he said. is going to happen to America. And he's not the only one, though. Dimitri Duduman saw the same thing. And Dimitri Duduman, you got to hear his testimony.
I don't see that happen like that, though, Rich. I see people here.
You know what the Book of Revelation says? You know what the Book of Revelation?
It ain't happen yet.
No, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow.
Because China got to get here first, man. With all they
No, China comes after the fact. He talked about, because when he gives a story about China, he said he's seen the Chinese come. And he wondered, he said, where's the military? Why isn't there any military? Well, you know why there was no military? This is my opinion, because I only heard a small piece of that, what he said. Is because the military was gone by then. So when China comes, America's already destroyed. So they have no one to fight. There's little resistance. They just come right in. They just start taking. But so much is going to be destroyed anyhow, too. You know, you got to think of it. So much is going to have, there's going to be radiation everywhere when this happens. And you can't just go marching. Why would you even want to come to America after it's been nuked?
No, one country, though.
By Russia. You know, it talks about in the book.
They just got big and mad. They just got big as land mass, man. That's it.
Listen,
that's it about
you
Russia.
know.
No one. Look, let me put you on something. I understand where you come from, these guys. No one ain't do a nuke yet, man. You know why? Why we so powerful? Because we the first people that did it. And we told everyone else they couldn't do it for years. And they ain't been doing that because they don't know it. We just gave them a little sense of it with a spy, but they don't know the real recipe. That's what make us powerful.
No, they know that. They got everybody.
They don't know that, man. That's a big lie, man. It's always a secret. We don't give you the recipe to kill us. We ain't never was no goofies. That's why we powerful, bro. We don't give nobody the real recipe. We don't give you something to make a nuke. But we don't give you that thing that blow up Hiroshima. We don't give you that. That's why we ain't never done. That's why we so powerful, bro. That's the main thing we powerful. People know how we get down. Regardless of what they got, and regardless what they submarine got, we got something to blow up their whole damn country, man. And nobody else can't get that. They lie in the books and say, you know what? Yeah, we got a nuke bigger. We ain't never see you test it. We got a nuke bigger than yours. Y'all don't got what we got. That's what make us powerful. And we ain't gonna give you the secrets. It ain't for us, dude. We dummies. We can give you something to blow up a couple cities. We don't give you nothing to destroy us, man. And we did it first. We'd be the dumbest people in the world, man. People would have been took over us if we gave them that, Bridgie. It's like common sense. They would have been did it. If we gave them that, people can't do it because they scared of that. They scared of that Hiroshima. They know how we do it. They know we don't play. They did it the first time. You forgot? Russia helped us, though. Russia helped us.
I believe in that testimony.
I don't believe in that, man. I don't believe in nothing like that, man.
Well, it's coming to America. As a matter of fact, if you believe America's a whore of Babylon, then you know it says in the book of Revelation.
Nothing like that, though. Just kill all them people.
You know what? It says the book of Revelation that the whore of Babylon will be destroyed in 1 hour. How is it? So, like I said, I'm just a messenger, so I'm not going to argue about it. I'm like,
to be honest with you, though, Rich, it is out of control, though. Like America is out of control, man.
I've told a lot of people about Henry Groover's prophecy, especially if you listen to Ken Peters. Oh my goodness, you listen to Ken Peters and what he had to talk about. But Ken Peters didn't see America destroyed. Ken Peters, he saw the Antichrist. He saw, again, no, Henry Groover, this man that was just talking right now, he's in heaven right now. He's with the Lord. He died.
Ain't nobody in heaven right now.
He's in heaven right now.
No, it's not, man.
Ain't
nobody in heaven yet, man.
Ken Peters.
The body died to the world. The soul stay here, man.
No
soul. The comfort go back.
The Bible says.
No, the comfort go back.
The Bible says.
He ain't never say your soul go up there.
The Bible says.
Until you get judged.
Listen, the Bible
says. You got to go get it then. You know you're the Bible right here. You got to go get it.
Grab it. Give it to me right now.
Give it to me. See what he say.
Actually, I'm using my phone. It's like.
Use the Bible, man. That's the real deal. Yeah. Because nobody ain't up there, man. The comfort go back. That's the only thing go back, man. The soul stay here and get judged. Don't let that's why the world like this, because it's false beliefs. That's why the world like this, man. They thinking the soul in the comfort go back. How both of them go? No, just one. How the soul stay here, man, and get judged.
2 Corinthians 5:8.
Don't mix up the soul and the comfort now.
You ready to
hear
this?
Go ahead.
But we are confident and have a good will to be absent and have a good will to be absent rather from the body and to be present with the Lord. What he's saying is this: to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. When you die, you either automatically
you can't
go to
take
heaven.
away what he said.
When you
No,
die,
No, man, you just can't add or take away what you believe, what somebody else said, and you put it in your own sense.
No.
It don't go like that, man. It said absent with the Lord. Yeah, you in His presence now. Know why? Because you don't get judged for everything came out your mouth and everything you ever done. They don't mean you in heaven.
Absent from the body is to be present with the Lord.
You don't be present with Him because you don't be thinking.
You believe in soul sleep? Are you a slow sleep? You believe in soul sleep that when you die, your soul just sleeps?
Let me finish. No, the thing, the soul never sleep, man. Check this out. The body do, because the body to the world, man. You see what I'm saying? See, the comfort, Jesus died. Because look, what we was talking about, Adam ain't take accountability, man. Adam should have relayed that word. What God told Adam, he should have relayed it to Eve. He didn't relate it to Eve. That's why women need a man to lead. And not, you know what I'm saying? And they don't lead. They don't be no preachers and preaching to the congregation, a woman. They never was leaders, man. Man was leader. God is a man. So Adam ain't take accountability. Now, God had to come down himself because he ain't fair with man, but Satan tricked the man, the first man, into the woman, to the helper. And they start blaming one another. And then one of them took accountability. So he got to come down here by himself and show it like, you know what? I don't want all y'all ass in hell. I'm going to give y'all a chance to get to heaven. I'm going to bring a comfortability. I'm going to bring this discernment so all y'all can know right from wrong now. Because back then, they ain't had that. They ain't had that comfort here. People did what they want to do off of feelings. Now the discernment come, you know what you did wrong. Now it's going to be that second voice now. They always tell you go with the first voice because that's going to be the accountability. That's the spirit. The second voice always get you in trouble. We ain't never had the first voice. We always had the second voice. He brought the comfort. So when he brought that comfort, guess what? Now we got discernment. We got accountability now. Now when we pass, that comfort go back. That don't mean our soul go up there because the comfort left. The accountability, the Holy Spirit leave. It go back to God. But your soul still got to get judged, man. And the comfort was part of you. He just was here through you, through the world.
Did you hear that people are saying that Prince Charles is the Antichrist?
He can't be.
You want to hear how he can be?
No, he really can't.
You want me to show you? Well,
I'm
not saying
he ain't doing nothing.
I'm not saying
Antichrist.
You want to hear something of it or no?
No, you don't go right to the message. You want
I'll
to
go
read
right
the whole
to the
thing.
message.
Go to the message.
Go right to the message.
To the message. That's what Christianity. That's why I say it's different between being religious and part of these entities. Because all them telling people this. That's why the world ain't changing. Because these false beliefs, thinking they can do what you want to do and still go to heaven. Because you believe in Jesus. That's false as hell. Don't y'all believe that. Y'all got to do what's right every day. Y'all got to tell somebody about God. Because he don't ask you what you do for me. Don't believe in that mess, man. That's trickery.
Royals and dignitaries from all over the world at her coronation. He wants to have about a quarter of that. But still, every royal house in the world has been subservient to the British monarchy. And that's another topic. You know, their power individual called the little horn with the eyes of a man. In context, in ancient Babylonia, for example, they would have immediately understood that that was a unicorn with human eyes. Now, I mentioned the beast with feet like a bear, body like a leopard, mouth like a lion being on Prince Charles' coat of arms. And the red dragon, by the way, is also on his coat of arms. It's actually...
What he's saying is, like, you know how like in England where they have like these emblems, like on a shield, for instance? Well, this would be Prince Charles. Prince Charles on his, you see this right here? This is supposed to be a body of feet of a bear, body of a leopard, and the mouth of a lion. And this is a red dragon. This would be like a video that somebody would have to watch. But this is his coat of arms. His coat of arms has a symbolism from the book of Revelation in it. And when he was crowned prince, see these dragons? This is him. He's up here. There's dragons all present. So this guy, he comes to this conclusion, and also his name. his name, like this. Here's the red dragon. You know, in Book of Revelation, it talks about this red dragon, right? Or this dragon.
Shit, dragon. Yeah. Coming out the oceans. That's Godzilla.
No.
Coming out. Godzilla here. Everything is in our face. Everything is in our face, man.
All right, check this out. This is his coat of arms right here. This mouth of a lion, body of a leopard, feet of a bear. It talks about, you see how you got the unicorn? Now it talks about in the book of Daniel that there was this little horn and it had eyes of a man and it had a horn sticking out. And a unicorn has a horn and he's trying to say these are eyes of a human. And he's like, here's the red dragon. He's saying there's symbolism in his coat of arms. And
he might be one of the commander, but I don't think he the Antichrist.
I don't think he's the Antichrist either. I don't think he's the Antichrist because
they coming out these religions. They don't come out to one of these religions, man. One of these religion people. One of they entity. He don't come out one of these.
Call Georgie.
He don't be Christian, Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, all of them the same.
Hey,
but they gonna come out of
one
of them.
You call Georgie or what? You can call your sister or no?
Go ahead.
Call her right there.
Call her, man. Get the phone.
Call her, man. That's your sister. Call her up.
Let me see what she had to say. Hey, man, take the password out. 3884. How do you go to the recent contacts? This is Motorola? It is.
You just plug that cord in. Oh, it's already in?
Hey, how you go to your message? I mean, not message, but...
How you go to what?
The recent calls.
Oh, here. No.
Oh, like that.
No. I got a separate app.
Oh.
Go to the last call.
What's that right there? Bring some of that over here, man. What's that? Not no pop though, man.
Is it calling your sister right now?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please try your call again later. Goodbye.
She ain't answer. We interrupt her call 2 times, man. Nice work.
You don't want it?
Want some more in there? Ain't no more.
Yeah, there is more.
Man, these too good. But this is what I say.
She's not picking up or what?
Nope. No. I ain't know all day, you guys. I apologize. No. That what I was explaining is that the comfort go back. The soul stay here. The soul don't never die. The soul don't. No one in heaven right now. Nobody. And that's what religion do. They separate from the truth, you know? So they got the world discombobulated because they believe just because they believe in Jesus, they can still do what they want to do. No. You He said we don't get judged for everything we said and everything we ever done. The comfort go back. The soul stay here. Y'all remember that. Hello.
Hello.
What it do, G?
Oh, what it do, bro?
We're calling you back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our apologies. 2 times we hung up. Our apologies.
Huh?
2 times we hung up. Our apologies. Now, what you think about heaven and hell?
What? Heaven and hell?
Yeah.
I feel like we living in hell right here on earth. You know?
You think this hell?
I think this is hell what we living in right now because the book of Revelations describe everything that's happening right now. I don't think God will be God is love. So I don't believe God will create a fiery place for us to go burn eternally. You know what I'm saying? Now some people is gonna be thrown into a lake of fire because of some of their sins, but I don't think like we living like this is like there's a eternal hell underground, like, you know, we're gonna be burning in fire forever. Because once our souls leaves our bodies, it's in the spirit realm. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that we will burn into a fiery hell. I just don't believe it. I believe because everything that's happening, everything that's mentioned in Revelations, we're seeing it right now today: famine, diseases, you know, mothers and children is going up against each other. Like all this, everything that's in the Bible and Corinthians and Timothy and all that, all this is coming into fruition. You know what I'm saying?
I understand
That's what I feel.
Thanks, man. No, that's but what he said though, G. I understand your opinion. I understand what you're saying. And I hear it clearly, you know? But no, we ain't in hell yet. They ain't feel it yet, G. They ain't see it yet. Cause we still living, you know. It just people make bad decisions. You know? It ain't the world. It's the people. Now look, we've been good. We might go to our trials and tribulations, but overall, we blessed. You know, we got a place to stay. You know, the basic essentials.
Exactly, because God give us free will.
But wait a minute.
To either do good or to do bad.
But look,
you make your own choice, whichever choice you make, being right or doing wrong.
But he said what he said in Revelations, though. We ain't see the white horse. We ain't see the lion and all that big creature yet. You know, we ain't in hell yet, you know.
But I just don't believe that you know, we gonna be burning eternally forever. Like I don't think God is that cruel.
He said that though, if you ain't praising him, if you ain't bringing over, if you ain't doing enough for him in his world, it gonna happen, G. First I thought it was not true, you know? I thought it was not true until I started reading it, what he said. Not what I believe, but what he said, you know? He said you don't burn he said you don't burn eternity.
Sometimes in some parts of the Bible it is what's the word I'm looking for? Contradicting. Some things in there is contradicting. Some things, not all things. I have studied the Bible front and back. You know what I'm saying? I still read my Bible now. Certain things I don't understand, and I have to go all the way into like the index and read and look up the words and stuff like that to see what it means.
What is some of that? What is like some that confuse you?
I can't think of it right on the top of my head. You know. But like in Genesis, like when he said, like in Genesis, he said, hold on, let me just find it.
Where you get these from?
Up the street.
Where?
Monterey Market. It's going to be closed at 9 o'clock.
How much they want for these? Like $2?
$8 for 6. She's still talking?
Okay.
She's finding something.
Okay. It's okay, Genesis 1 Genesis chapter 1 verses I'm gonna start at 24.
Your hands aren't dirty, right?
Okay, from 24 to 26.
Okay.
Where it says, and God went on to say, let the earth put forth living souls according to their kind, domestic animal and moving animal, and wild beasts of the earth according to his kind. And it came to be so. And God proceeded to make the wild beasts of the earth according to his kind, and the domestic animal according to his kind, and every living animal of the ground according to his kind. And God got to see that it was good. And God went on to say, let us make man in our image according to our likeness, and let them have
dominion
and subject of fish of the sea and flying creatures of the heavens and the domestic animals and all the earth and every little animal that is moving upon the earth. And God proceeded to create the man in his image. In God's image, he created him. Male and female, he created them. So that part right there, when he said, and God proceeded to create man in his image, and God created him, male and female, he created them. Further, God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and become men into the earth. So, to me, what that is saying is like, you know, that's the divine energy. Because male and, he said, God proceeded to create man in his image and he created him male and female. So that is the divine energy with male and female. So it's masculine energy and it's feminine energy. You know, that's the part I don't be understanding, because people all talking, then it says that he made female from Adam's rib. You know what I'm saying? But if he made male and female in his image, how did he create a woman from Adam's rib?
It had to come true. It had to exist. It had to come true. It had to exist what he said.
But but that still ain't telling me nothing.
He said he made him after his image, right? Then he made female and male after and made them, right? Something like that.
God proceeded to create the man in his image. In God's image, he created him. Male and female, he created them. But then he said he put Adam to sleep and proceeded to remove a rib and created a helper for him. That's contradicting to me.
But
you know
then his word, it couldn't go void. It had to come true because he talking to existence. No, right now he talking everything to existence right now.
The Bible been rewritten over and over and over again. So it's not me or no one else taking his words out or adding to. It's the people who's rewriting these Bibles that's adding to and taking from his word. You know what I'm saying? They confuse the people. That's why some people don't want to read the Bible because they don't understand.
I think we can't add or take away because I looked at what he said. He said he talked everything to existence. So 1,000 years here on this earth is one day to God. So people thinking that the years is millions and millions and years. No, it's 7,000 years. That's it. It can't be millions and years and 7,000 years. It can't be millions and thousands of years. If you listen to the secret, he said 1,000 years is one day to God, and he said that's day one. So everything he created on day one, day two, that was 1,000 years. You see what I'm saying? And it had to come true.
But I'm saying like
you saying that.
Well, I'm saying I'm trying to figure out how when he created Adam, he said and God proceeded to create the man in his image, in God's image, he created him, male and female, he created them. But then in his other scripture, he said he put the man in a deep sleep and took a rib from Adam and created the woman. But how is that if he first created, how is that if he first proceeded to create man in his image, in God's image, he created him male and female. How if he created them male and female first, and then you put Adam in a deep sleep, and he created the female from Adam's rib? That's kind of contradicting. That's what I'm saying.
But then I understand where you come from. I understand that clearly. But then his word had to come true, though. You would think about it. The cattle, and then when you go to verse 26, 27. You go to verse 26 and 20. And God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them. And God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. So I believe he talking everything to existence. He manifesting everything. I think everything he was doing, he was learning. Because when he's saying it was good.
Oh, how could he be learning when he's all knowing?
Yeah, I'm saying
he's all.
But I'm saying that's the wrong word to use. That was the wrong word. I mean, when he started creating it, this he all knowing, but he's showing his power. How powerful he is. He manifests everything in. What you get out of this, Richie? Say it again. Tell him again, G. What you say? I say that he talked everything to existence and everything got to manifest now. That's why I get out of it. When he say he created them, then he said he put it to sleep. I think he had to create himself.
But when he spoke these things in the Bible, when he spoke these things were happening as he spoke them. You know what I'm saying? And he said, God went on to say, let the earth put forth living souls according to their kinds, domestic animal, moving animals, wild beasts of the earth according to his kind, and came to be so. So as he was about these things and visualizing these things, he was creating them at the same time. So he wasn't manifesting anything because he don't have to manifest. He can create it right then because he's all knowing. He's powerful. He got powerful. He got powers. He got real strong powers. So it's some stuff just be confusing to me.
That's the only part you confused about. Is nothing else.
That And then it says, and in verse 29, saying, God went on to say, here I have given to you all vegetation, bearing seed, which is on the surface of the whole earth, and every tree of which there is the fruit of a tree bearing seed, to let you serve as food, and to every wild beast of the earth, and to every flying creature of the heavens, and to every movement upon the earth in which there is life as a soul. I have given all green vegetation for food, and it came to be so. Where I was at, okay, right there. Then so he basically gave us the earth as our food. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be eating vegetation, fruits, and vegetables. But then in another scripture, he says that we can have the animals. You know, we shouldn't eat the animals, but they are there for us. You know what I'm saying? But we were meant to eat fruits and vegetables. That's why all this sickness and health is coming from, cancer, all this stuff coming from, because of the food that we are digesting. Just think about them animals. They got a soul just like we got a soul, right? So if these animals going to get slaughtered, you don't think they know they finna get slaughtered? You don't think they fear, they scared?
And you taking all their sickness and all their feelings and all their hurt and pain inside. And you feeling the same way when you eat that type of domestic animal.
You feeling everything them animals went through to get slaughtered, to get that meat out or whatever, and you digest that meat and stuff like that, you're feeling everything that they went through. That's why there's so many mad, crazy people out here.
Dang, that's tight. I was thinking about that, but I ain't never put it in like that. And I saw something like that too. But that's deep, man. That's serious right there. That's some knowledge right there. That's something people should pay attention to and really look into.
So he said we're supposed to be eating fruits and vegetables. That's what helps our body operate. You know what I'm saying? That's why we be tired, sluggish. You know what I'm saying? Animals are tired, lazy, sluggish. We humans, we supposed to be active, free. You know what I'm saying? Active and want to do stuff all the time. We shouldn't be tired and lazy and, you know, all feeling out of it. Especially after we eat a meal. We should be able to get up and get busy. As soon as you eat a good meal, especially when it contains meat, it makes you tired instantly. You want to go lay down instead of go working out. You know, burn off the carbs. See, fruits and vegetables will do that because they got all these nutrients in there that give you energy, vitamins, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. Continue on.
And I'm just saying, like, and then that right there, because then, you know, he said that see, it's right here. He said, God said, be fruitful, become many, and fill the earth to do it, and have as a beneficial. Not that. And then that one, and then so, and then it says the serpent, about the serpent. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not. I know it's figuratively speaking. You know what I'm saying? Of a snake, but it's not a snake. You know, but it was actually Satan himself coming to the woman. Eve coming to Eve telling her to eat off the tree of life, because the day that you do it, you'll be all knowing just like God and all this and this and that. But I don't understand why when they just, it's just so confusing to me. Some things are just so confusing. I don't know.
Okay. Like when I read it, right, I was confused about it for a while till I had to understand it, so I stopped and I read it like a book. So I was like, I used to read it like a book, and it ain't registered in my mind because I was reading like a book. So I had to dissect it. I had to really take verse 1, verse 2. I took verse 1 just for that one day. I read verse 1, and I meditated on that all day for 24 hours. Then verse 2, I did that for the second day. Then verse 3. My conclusion was, he was talking everything to existence. Then I realized that it was 1,000 years here that he was creating things in that one day. But it was 1,000 years on earth. So when he was speaking this, things was manifestation. Things was coming to existence. You got to scroll up. Things was coming to existence. So when I started reading, when I read about Eve, I was confused too when I read about Eve. Then I realized that.
Personally, I just feel like this Bible is man.
Wait a minute, let me finish. Now, when I read about Eve, right? It was like this. I read that Adam should have relayed the message to Eve. He told Adam, and Adam should have relayed the message to Eve, and Eve ain't get the message, So the serpent came in and deceived her because Adam should have relayed the message. That's why Jesus had to come.
But that's why,
because the first man failed.
He instructed the man because the man is supposed to be the leader.
Yeah, he instructed him. He should have relayed the message to Eve.
The man is the one that's supposed to take care of his woman. You know what I'm saying? The woman's supposed to take care of her man, but that is the man's job to take care of his wife.
Yeah.
That is his job. That is his obligation.
Not just take care of, but you supposed to acknowledge her and tell her.
I'm not just talking about just taking care of her. I'm talking about mentally, physically, emotionally, all type of ways. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to instruct her in the ways that, warn her about the different things,
But if you don't have the Bible, it's like if you don't have no foundations like structure, right? It will fail. See, God gave Adam the instructions. Adam got too comfortable. He was too spoiled.
He was supposed to relate that to his wife.
Supposed to relate that to his wife.
He was weak. He was weak. And he let his wife feed him that fruit without even asking her, what is this? And then when God came and asked him, he instantly blamed her.
And she blamed the serpent. See how the accountability went in there in both parties? No accountability. He supposed to took the accountability and said, you know what? I should have instructed a helper. I should have told her what you relayed to me. And he would have turned the world around or something. Anything could have happened. That's why Jesus had to come to bring the comfort. So everyone can have accountability now. See how he ain't have no accountability? But he knew everything. He knew everything in the world, but he didn't take that accountability. Ain't that deep though?
Mm-hmm.
You notice that? And she ain't take accountability. She ain't say, because I don't think she really knew. I think Adam just knew. And Adam forgot to relay it to her. What you think, Rich? No, that's not. That fit, dog. Yeah, so I used to be confused, so I stopped reading it like a book. I just started dissecting every paragraph.
He put, because when it says, he put Adam in charge of the garden. But at first,
You like that logo?
At first,
man,
it says he created male and female in his image before he took the rib from Adam. But then he put Adam in charge of the Garden of Eden. He was supposed to tell her what to do and what not to do.
That's what Adam Poser did. He ain't take that accountability.
He was the perfect man. Exactly. That's why it's so contradicting. Because he was the perfect. He was a perfect man without blemish or anything. Okay? Before all of that's how sin comes in this world. Supposedly. Okay? That's how sin supposedly came in this world because of Adam and Eve.
You think he was a perfect man?
Yeah, he's perfect. He was created perfect.
Satan was created perfect.
He was perfect until he committed that sin, and he got a blemish on himself, and that's what created sin in the world for him and Eve, biting off the tree of life, which is what that means is they had sex. They weren't supposed to know that they were having sex, because we were supposed to be in this world naked. You know what I'm saying? They were naked. We supposed to be in this world. We supposed to be grown now. You supposed to be noticing body parts or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? We're not supposed to be nothing. So the fruit, to me, the garden of the fruit is the female's body. That's what I think it is. I don't think it's a literal garden.
I think, I understand where you come from, but I believe that what he said, you know how he created men and women, and it was a garden, and we look up what a garden is, and it's like, it's a place that, it could be from vegetation or it could be from fruits, so either or. So when he said he was in charge of the garden.
You see how animals create babies and stuff?
Yeah.
They don't got no attachment to each other, do they? When you see them with each other, they don't have no attachment, no emotional attachment to each other.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm back now. What's going on here? I hear a bunch of crazy stuff. Tell me what's going on.
You ain't heard nothing. Tell me you hear about.
I heard about Adam and Eve. What are you guys talking about?
You should have been
talking about animals. When animals mate, they do have some type of emotional, you know what I'm saying, but they not like us. You know what I'm saying?
He made in his image.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to explain it in some type of way. I just can't.
You trying to say that when animals, when they mate and everything, they don't have no attachments. They don't have no, feelings and everything. They go on with their life. They go on with their life, just doing what animals do. But human beings always have an emotional filter.
We got emotional. We is attached. You know what I'm saying? See, animals, they don't. God didn't make them in His image.
Nope.
He made us in His image. You know what I'm saying? So animals don't know right from wrong. That's why they go out here and they attack and do all this and that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you teach them. Like dogs and like cats already know, but dogs, you got to teach a dog, how to behave, and potty train them and stuff like that. But all these wild animals and stuff, they don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, so that's why accountability had to come. The spirit had to come because no one took accountability.
That's what I was trying to say. Animals. That's what I was trying to say. Animals, when you think about animals, they are perfect. They follow God's command. He said, fulfill the earth and subdue it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they did. That's what they do. They fill the earth. They multiply the earth by creating more and more and more animals. Humans, I don't know why I just had it. Say it again, baby.
I just said it to me. It seemed like animals are perfect because they do exactly what they're set out here, what they were designed to be out here doing.
But you know,
when trying to be a human, or do what humans do, they do exactly what they were designed to do. You know what I'm saying? Reproduce, protect their young, and they do exactly what they're supposed to do. They don't go outside of what they're supposed to be doing or outside of their world.
Or
no, we invade. So that's why he end up getting attacked. We do everything we're not supposed to be doing. Just like, remember when we were watching the video the other day, and dude said, "Okay, just look at just pay attention to the animals that have hands like us, like that have hands like us. Like for instance, a squirrel or a gorilla. This is going back to what the eating thing. Mm-hmm. Notice the things that they eat. Look at a gorilla, one of the strongest animals on the world, hands down, right? Mm-hmm. What do they eat?
Vegetation.
They do exactly what God says. We don't. You know what I'm saying?
The strongest animals too. Ain't that crazy?
They never picked up a book a day in their life. So what are we talking about? That is made by a man. You know what I'm saying? For real.
What is?
That is these books. These religious books, bro. I just really don't do the you know what I'm saying, like the back and forth. It just only makes perfect sense. Like,
I don't know if it do. If he said
like they supposed to, but we don't. Like even to the eating thing, like we're not supposed to be consuming meat. Look at how our teeth are made. Our teeth aren't made to rip flesh. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. Before there's such thing as fire or people actually cooking food, how were they surviving, eating and stuff like that? Before fire and before fire was they discovered fire and all of that. What were they eating? They had to be eating whatever was around and on the earth. You know what I'm saying? As far as vegetation, right?
Yeah.
That even eating the flesh, that is a man-made thing. Our teeth aren't made for that.
Yeah.
We actually herbivores. You feel me?
Yeah.
We
they carnivores.
That's why as soon as no, we're carnivores by choice.
No, I'm talking about the animals carnivores.
Yeah.
Like lions.
Not
all of them though.
Only with those type of teeth. Look at squirrels. Look how their hands made. Their hands made exactly like ours. They eat nuts and shit like that. Like you don't really see too many. Only certain types of animals. I believe that like the animals with like the big teeth and stuff like that. That was the evolution of survival and maintaining the count of the animals, like the population of the animals. You know what I'm saying? Because we are intelligent enough to keep control of our own population, but an animal, they have to have certain animals assigned for that. Like, you know, big lions and stuff like that. Like, you know,
I think it's
all of the animals that have teeth that are made like us, horses, things like that, they eat fruit and vegetation
and grass and stuff.
You know what I'm saying? It's only we're not made for that.
But you know, I look at what he said. He said the word is God and was made flesh. You know, and I look at what he said. You know that he said you go out and you gonna see Adam and Eve. They brought sin to the world, like G was explaining. And when they brought sin to the world, everybody's eyes was open. Everything was open now. You know, so it was a good side and it's good. It was good, always good and bad. You know, in this world, and bad always became the conqueror.
Mm-hmm. Right.
In the world, though. But what he said, he said that the world belonged to Satan. So this is world, and he don't cause confusion. He a master of confusion. That's what he is. Now, with God, he got to be true because he just saying it was good.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because if we could go and get the original Bible,
it is the Torah. It's the Torah in the Hebrew. That's the original Bible, the Torah. That was the first one. They took it out because they were describing us a lot. You know, they were describing, you know, the people that sojourn. They was giving you a vivid message, direct message.
I'm just saying, because like for instance, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, I'm not downing them or shaming them or nothing like that, but I know every so many years because I have a Jehovah's Witness Bible. You know what I'm saying? But I know from being a part of Jehovah's Witness, like every so many years, they will read, you know, make a new cover for the Bible, you know, like make a new cover.
Hey, are you a Jehovah's Witness, Georgia?
Huh?
Are you a Jehovah's Witness?
I was. I'm not active. I am baptized, Jehovah's Witness, but I'm not active in it.
Do you believe that Jesus is God?
No, I believe God is God. I believe
all right,
Jesus
check it out. You got your listen. You got Jehovah. You got your the holy. You got the New Living Translation with you right now, right?
Yeah.
Hey, open up to John 20:28 and tell me what it says.
What you say, John 20:28?
Yeah, yo. Matter of fact, read 27 and then read 28, so that the listeners can get a full picture of what's occurring.
John chapter what?
Chapter 20, verses 27 and 28, please.
Okay. It says, okay. It says, next he said to Thomas, put your finger here and see my hands, and take your hand and stick it inside my side, and stop being unbelieving, but become believing. And answer Thomas said to him, my Lord, my God, and my God. Jesus said to him, because you have seen me, have you believed? Happy are those who do not see and yet believe.
Hey, so the very beginning of verse 28, what does that say again? What did Thomas say to Jesus?
And answer Thomas said to him, my Lord, my God.
Okay. Well, so right there in the New Living Translation, Thomas called Jesus his Lord and his God.
Right.
What I'm trying to get at is Jesus is God. And in every translation, let's say the King James, the New King James, even in that New Living Translation, it states that Jesus is God.
Yeah, because that's what I used to believe, Jay.
See, God is so complex. You got the what's up?
I understand it because you know I know that everything. I believe that in order to get to God, you got to go through His Son.
Yeah.
You know.
See, the thing about it is, in order to get to God, you have to go through God, and to go through God is to go through His Son, who is God. God is so deep. God is so. If I said Trinity,
he can do what he want to do. That's the thing. We put a limit on him.
If I said Trinity, somebody will say, "Well, Trinity's not in the Bible." It's like if I say rapture, a Jehovah's Witness will say, "Well, the word rapture isn't in the Bible, so you gotta say harpazo, which is the Greek word for rapture." Having said that, it's a complex unity. God is Father, Word, and Spirit, and the Word became flesh and dwelt amongst men. And that New Living Translation, when you look at John 1:1, it says, it's supposed to say in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And we know Jesus is the Word, and that Word, the Word is capital, the letter W is capitalized to emphasize it's the name of someone. Having said that, like I really haven't been listening to right now, but now that I'm back, it's something to think about. and that is that Jesus is God. Like Jehovah's Witnesses, they believe in annihilationism. They believe that when you die, you just if you're bad, if you lived a bad life, when you die, well, there's no hell. You just disappear. You just don't get the opportunity to live forever in heaven. But that's not biblical neither, because Jesus preached about hell a lot. There's a percentage given in the New Testament. I don't remember it. But what I do remember is Jesus said where the fire doesn't quench.
He said Satan is going to be locked up and thrown in the lake of fire and sulfur. I don't believe he created humans to burn them for eternal life.
No, you're right. Hold on. You're right about that, because also Jesus said that hell wasn't created for man, but for the devil and his angels. But men and women who die in a fallen state, they will go to hell. See, Jesus,
they will be in that same state they left in.
No, see the Bible. You know what? I tell you right now. For instance, those who take the mark of the beast in the Book of Revelation, it talks about Jesus says if you take the mark, that you're gonna burn in the presence of the they're gonna burn in eternal fire in the presence of the Lamb and his angels. Jesus is talking about the people who take the mark of the beast. They're gonna burn in hell forever in the presence of Jesus and the angels. Now, Jesus also in the New Testament, in the Gospels, he talks about hell is a place where the fire never quenches and the worm never dies. He says, if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. It'd be better to enter into heaven with one hand than to be thrown into hell with both.
Right. Okay. Well, okay. I'm looking in the index. I'm finna read what hell.
Because they're gonna give you their spin. That's their spin on hell. That's when somebody has to read the Gospels for themselves and find out for themselves what it says. Because their spin is gonna be, you just go to the grave. Again, it's called annihilationism, where you just die and you're annihilated. You're just into oblivion. You're nothing. So there's no consequences to your sin, other than that you can't go to heaven.
Me personally, I'm speaking for myself. I don't think God created, because he's all loving. You know, he's all loving. I don't believe that he created us to kill us. He did that before, but he promised us that he will not do that to us again. You know what I'm saying? He promised that he will not do that to us again. He will not destroy us. But we will destroy ourselves. That's why he gives us free will.
He said he had never destroyed the world. Again, that's why he created the rainbow, G. He said,
exactly. The world, the people, he destroyed the whole thing. The world, the people, everything. He destroyed everything.
Like when you walk away from God and you start studying other like entities, and they don't believe in God and all that, them Gentiles, they become Gentiles, and God don't know Gentiles. Like the Jewish.
It's not that I don't.
That's what he destroyed. He destroyed all the Gentiles.
I believe in God. I just don't believe in religion. You know what I'm saying? Religion just caused so much division, and if we are serving the same God, how can you tell me?
Well, we can't all be serving the same God, though. That's when you get into economicalism. Like, for instance, like people witchcraft.
If there's only one God.
Yep.
There's only one God.
Yep.
Okay. And we serve. He has many names, but there's only one God.
Okay.
But plenty people give him different names. But how can we say, what they saying, what the Christians over there saying is true. What the Baptists over there saying is true. Do you
believe that?
What the Muslims up there over there saying is true. What they saying over there is true. They believe in one God.
Yeah, them religions false. I believe you in that. I agree with you with that. All them religions false. Every one of them.
Is it your belief that Muslims, that they pray to the same God as Christians?
I haven't studied Muslim, I can't speak on that because I haven't.
Well, if I were to tell you,
I know a little bit about them, but I don't know enough to say that.
All right. Well, if I were to tell you, see now their Jesus is another Jesus, and it's another gospel, and it's another spirit. And the Apostle Paul talks about this. He talks about being wary of other gospels, other Jesuses, and other spirits that come with it.
And see, that's why I don't do religion. I just serve God.
Well,
this is what I believe. I believe.
And I do believe in Jesus. I do believe in Jesus.
I think that
there's no God. There's no Jesus without God. So
now think about that. If you got people that say they're praying to God, they're not praying, and they don't have any relationship with Christ. They can't be praying to the same God. You can't get to. You see, Jesus is an intercessor for prayers. In other words, he delivers them to the Father, so to speak. And if they don't have Christ, then their prayers are falling on deaf ears.
For myself, I have experienced. I have experienced God's. What's the word I'm looking for? I have experienced God's grace and mercy. You know what I'm saying? And I know, like he's real. You know what I'm saying? Like Jesus too, because I pray to both of them. You know, I talk to both of them. So I'm not leaving one without the other. So I'm talking to both of them. But at the same time, that religion mess, it just confused people. And really, it's for them to capitalize off of, to make money off of people. You know what I'm saying? And they're not really telling people what's really in that word. They just telling them what they want them to hear.
No, this what I got to say, G, and I have to be wrapping it up in a minute because it's 9:30. I should have ended the show at 9. We should have ended the show at 9. But this what I'm on the same page as you. You know, I understand that. This what I don't agree with. When you have Catholics, you have Christians, you have Jehovah's Witnesses, all of them studying the same book. This the deep part right here. But they inside buildings. Now the church supposed to be the building. Why they calling these buildings churches then? Think about it. The Pharisees, they had synagogues back then. These the new synagogues, but nobody ain't paying attention because they was in there with their own people teaching the gospel. They didn't even know that God came down here himself, that everything they was reading about, it happened, but they didn't believe. Just like they didn't believe when Noah said it was on rain because it never rained before. Noah said it was on rain. It was just drizzle, but they ain't believe. Then when it rained, then you want to believe. Now it's too late now to believe. You had a whole opportunity. You had years and years to believe. You had years and years to straighten up, to get it together. Then when the wrath comes, it's too late to say, you know what? Yeah, I believe. I knew it was true. I just had doubts because the world tricked me. That's dead. See, it's called study to show yourself approval.
I'm not saying that I don't believe, because I do.
No, I'm talking about not that. I ain't talking about that. I'm saying I don't believe in the churches. Like, I don't believe in the churches. No, I don't believe in
I feel like why do they need to have church buildings? Why can't y'all come outside and preach?
Yeah, come outside and teach to all nations.
That's people. Why can't y'all come outside? Why y'all gotta come bring people, confine people to a building?
Wait a minute. And this right here. No, what about this? No, it's like this. How do the people in the building save their soul? If he told the disciples go out and teach to all nations, why they coming back every Sunday? Now the pastor's saving his soul because he's giving out the message. But why the people still coming back every Sunday if they ain't get the message already? Study and show yourself approval and go save souls so you can get a place in heaven. It's not about just reading. It's not about just good deeds. It's about you got to tell somebody about them. If you ain't tell nobody about them, how do you love me? He gonna ask you, what have you done for me? See, people look at things because they do good things.
And that's one reason why I do respect Jehovah's Witnesses. You know what I'm saying? Because they do go out in the world. They knock on people's doors.
But look, listen, G, they still inside a building. Them synagogues, they still inside buildings.
But they still come out that building and they very organized.
But listen, but wait a minute. They the same people, they Christians. They Christians, G. They been Christians. So they in the same category. Ain't nothing changed. They still the same people. They got a different way of doing their strategy and they technique. By donations and all that. They do it a different way to get money.
I'm just speaking on,
But everyone. But the Christians, the building, they do the same thing. They give out free food and gifts on Christmas. They do all the same thing that Jehovah's Witnesses do. It just Jehovah's Witnesses, they more, listen to it, but they also add from what he said. Because you don't go back after you go out there and go knock on doors and all that. Then you go congregate in the building there. No, you don't go back and do what the church that you said you don't like about it. That the Jehovah's Witnesses said they don't like what the churches do. But they do the same thing and call it Kingdom Hall. They the same people. They just got different strategies to get to hell. You see what I'm saying? They just got different strategies to get there. Because you don't call yourself an entity that never was created. This stuff was in the Bible. He ain't have none of these entities in the Bible. He had Jehovah, but he ain't never put the witness behind it. So they call themselves Jehovah's Witness. That's a cult now. You see what I'm saying? It become cults. These religions become cults because they studying the same God. Why they don't come together? If the Super Bowl come on, there's no understand this. If the Super Bowl come on every year and everybody around the world watch the Super Bowl, why they can't come together and do that to God, all the religions? If they could watch the Super Bowl together, pay attention to what I'm saying. If they could watch the Super Bowl together, everybody around the world, everybody, many people that love football and football fans, why all these religions can't do that for God? Why they got their different platforms for God? For the own people that come back every Sunday. Why they can't do it collective on because Satan is the ruler of this world. That's why I left all that. I left the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Christians, the Muslims. I left all that because I had to realize, like, hold on, wait a minute. God told disciples go out and go teach to all nations. He did not say go in the building and go listen to one man speak his mind and speak his truth. He did not say that. He said, study to show yourself approval.
You can learn a lot. You don't really have to read. You know what I'm saying? You can talk to God and God gonna respond to you. You know what I'm saying?
But the book is pertaining to him though, like it's showing who he is.
He gonna show you.
Nah, G don't go. He said, study to show yourself approval, not what man said.
You don't gotta go out into a person's church home. You can learn about God right there in your home.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. I gotta wrap it up. It's getting too late, too, G. It's getting too late right now. Dang.
Okay.
Yeah, it's getting too late right now. Okay. But I want to leave you out with this. You keep this in mind. Huh?
I said I enjoy being on y'all podcast.
I appreciate it. We enjoy you, G. I appreciate you coming on and speaking your truth. There ain't nothing wrong with that. And I'm going to leave you with this, though, because some people, they can add or take away what he said. I'm going to give you two things. He say, the word is God. The word is God. So when he said that, I said, dang, nobody can't add or take away, right? That's what he said. That's how he described himself. Right. Then he said, seek, and you will find. He said, study and show yourself approval. He said, study and show yourself approval. So you could go out there and teach somebody about him. He ain't say keep your knowledge inside. If you could tell the world about all the other stuff about you, you can't tell it about me. You can't tell nobody about me. And that's the main job he want us to do. Praise his name and tell somebody about him. That's how we get that. That's how we get to that kingdom. It ain't about good things, good deeds. Yes, you got to do good things. That's part of who we is. But we got to study and show ourselves approval so we could change the narrative how people teaching and what people believe in these false teachings. We got to go tell somebody to save our soul because he going to ask. I know a lot of people won't believe it, but he going to ask, what have you done for me?
What have
you done for me, though? God, I read. You did that for yourself and your salvation, but what you done for me? God, I gave to the homeless. You did that for man, but what you done for me? I took care of my kids. You did that for your kids. What you done for me?
But that's one of his commands.
Treat your neighbor like you would like to be treated. He said you obey both of them.
He said be fruitful. Take care of what you bring into this world.
He said,
look. That's his main thing. That's his main thing.
The main thing is this. The main thing is this. This is main thing. Study. Love your God with your heart, might, and soul. That's the main thing, G. And we love everything around us. We love everything around us. We are partaking, in God. G, when I'm out there, like honestly from my heart, when I'm out there and I'm giving up them phones to the community and everything, man, I'm trying to tell every individual about God, G, who he is. Every individual I come across. I'm trying to wake them up. Every single day. Because that's my job. I don't keep my music inside. So with that said, G, I'm going to have to end the show, and I thank you for your participation. I thank you for calling in and speaking your truth. I love you. You have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you next week.
I love you too.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro.
All right, love you guys.
Yeah.
Love you too, Richie.
Love you too, Richie.
Y'all keep up the good work, bro.
Y'all keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you, G. I appreciate you.
Spread the podcast. Spread the podcast.
Share and likes and spread the podcast, y'all. Tell people about the show.
Yeah,
more people need to express themselves, and we don't lend the ear, So,
especially people in prison. Anybody that's incarcerated, man. The more people to get on the platform, the better.
Okay, we don't end out the show with you guys too. So this is Man.
This is Rich.
And this is
this Gigi.
This is Chuck. Signing off.
And this is the Manwich Show. Good night.
All right, good night. No.
I've been alive for 4.5 centuries.
Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
Here we are, born to be kings. We're the princes of the universe. Here we belong, fighting to survive in a war with the darkest power.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, flesh and blood, flesh and blood. Put on the whole armor of God. Stand against the wiles of the devil.
Scotty, beam me up.
will say you had your day. There is no tomorrow. Fly the moon and reach for the stars. With my soul in hand high. Gotta pass the test. First time. Yeah. I know that people talk about me. I hear it every day. But I can prove it right 'cause I'm right. First time. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Watch this man fly. Woo. Bring on the girls. Come on. Here we are. Born to be kings. We're the princes of the universe. Here we belong. Born to be kings. Princes of the universe. High and free. Got your word in my hand. I'm here for your love and I make my stand. We were born to be princes of the universe.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints, and for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in bonds, that therein I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. But that you also may know my affairs, and how I do, and how I do, and how I do.